hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
First time listeners, second time listeners, welcome to Permission to Speak Freely. Welcome to the family. Social media, all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. YouTube commenters, everybody, we love you. We appreciate you. Welcome. Everybody who this might be the last time that they listen to the show. Peace out, man. We're gonna miss y'all.
We're gonna miss you, man. We're gonna miss y'all, man.
Yeah, so let's start with a quick wellness check, though. Starting with Tish, I could feel it in the air that Tish needs this wellness check. So what's up?
Listen,
how you doing?
I'm good. Anxiety is through the roof. Everything is going on all at once, but overall, I'm good. I'm good though. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
good. You want to talk
too.
About it?
I'm good. Too,
I can't talk about it.
Okay, all right.
It's work stuff, so all know. So I can't really go into the cases and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like a race. This is one where it's like, yeah, it's a case. It's just like one that's kind of a race against the clock. It's not anything that the service member did, but I guess I could talk a little bit about it. It's an identity theft issue. So we're trying to, no fault of the service member. The service member is the victim, but it's causing all types of issues, and to where it's a pretty big issue to where like things can easily go sideways, and his life could be like impacted by it, not just financially, but like life in general. So the quicker we get it fixed, the better. So just one of those situations. But I mean, overall, me personally, outside of work, everything is good. Still counting down the days.
I immediately regret doing a wellness check with you. I just want you to know.
It's always
you made me sad. You made me sad, man. You made our listeners sad.
I know. It ain't a whole lot of great things that happen at my job. I know.
Yeah, she set the tone for it and everything. Like it's gonna be life or death. Well, hopefully that y'all get it right. Figure it out, and the seller is good to go.
Yeah.
Right, but we. It's been a minute for us, even though it don't seem like it, but it's been a minute since we all sat together and talked.
Yeah.
So Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. How was it, Tish?
Oh, it was good. It was good. Me and my girls, we went to our Galentine's Day dinner, and we went to this place called Eddie V's, a steakhouse called Eddie V's. It's all fancy and stuff. All dressed in our red. Yeah, so it was a really good time. It was a really good time.
Eddie V's. What about you, Damon?
I had a good time, man. I had a good couple weeks, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I get into my couple weeks, man, I did have something that pissed me off a little bit today, though. Like a few minutes ago, man, I get this call, from this young lady, man, about a FAP case, and it was just like about an MPO. But we already got it resolved, right? It's been resolved like months.
What's an MPO?
MPO. The military. MPO? Oh, man, what that shit stand for? Military.
Protection order.
Military protection. Yeah.
So,
protection order.
So she called me up about we resolved. I'm talking back in August. We resolved this last August. So she hit me up, said this command, her husband command, saying this and saying that. And I'm like, we've been resolved this shit. I said, give me my number. Right? Because I got the chits, I got the paperwork, I got everything. I said, give my number. Bro, his number pops up in my phone, man, and I'm ready. Fired up. Finna give him the biz if he say something crazy, right? He gets on the phone, man, and he talking about co-location and shit. Nothing to do with nothing, bro. Yeah. I'm like, oh, my bad, dude. Whatever, so man, done with. Yeah, you talking to the wrong guy now, man. I was done with him, man. But yeah, man, Valentine's Day was a hit. My wife's birthday was a hit. Anniversary was a hit. And it was all planned out, man. The highlights of it of both of them was us going to the concert with the Isley Brothers and all that stuff. Man, them songs, come on, you guys already know, man. Like, he ain't even got to sing them if he don't want to. I know them all. I know them all, bro. He ain't got to sing nothing, man. You know what I mean? And then we went to the mass thing, man. That's a big deal. You know, I had to sign some paperwork because I went to it's probably on like its second episode right now, but I went to the season finale. You know what I mean? So I had to sign paperwork. I can't say who won. I can't say none of that shit, right? So, but
no, it
was eye-opening, man. Eye-popping on this thing. And when it comes out, we're going to talk more about it, though, because I'm a little iffy on what was going on up in there, man. But we'll talk about that after all the results and stuff come out, man. But yeah, man, I had a good time, man. Like no shit, man. Like it was all planned out, man. It was great, man.
Yeah, Valentine's Day was fun. We went out to a local restaurant owned by a local celebrity chef. It just opened up, so we was able to get in there. We had a great time. The couple next to us didn't have as good a time, good a time as us.
What happened?
They just didn't. The dude, it's just he was waiting too long. Like, it's Valentine's Day. It's an exclusive restaurant, celebrity chef. Like, you can't expect like your food to be served the same way like if you was at Fridays. Like, this ain't TGI Fridays.
Right.
It's just not that. Like, it's going to take a while for things. That's why they got like 6 courses, stuff like that. And I know the dude's probably like, well, if I'm spending this money, like, the service should be different. But it's like, come on, dude. The actual chef, the celebrity chef guy, he was at the restaurant at the time. Like, it wasn't going like be as like good as he wanted to be. So him and his old lady. And it's funny because he was complaining a whole lot.
Oh, he was with you guys, or he was just in the restaurant?
No,
he was just in the
close quarters. So that like it's a small restaurant. So it was like you right next to the people. But like I saw him complaining, so I'm like, yo, this dude, like, he on some boss type status type stuff, man. And then when they was rolling out, his wife paid that bill, man. And then that's what I'm like, dang, you all loud, man. You ain't even paying the Valentine's Day bill, dog. And listen, I'm not judging. I ain't judging out there. Like, it's a lot of,
I mean, it could be coming from the same account. Who knows, right? You know what I mean?
It should be either way, but it's coming from the same account. It's coming from off my card, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
What it is, though.
That's just me, guys. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But like, my man was boss hogging until that bill came out. Boss hog disappeared. Like, he got real quiet. When that bill came out.
Man, you gotta expect that, man. Them Valentine's days and things like that. You gotta be bringing it them days, man. Cause it's coming out, man. 6-course meal.
You might want to plan it.
6 courses. Yeah.
It was like $350 bill type.
For 2 people.
Yeah, most definitely.
For 2 people, limiting your drinks, because you ain't about to drink $21 drinks all night or whatever like that. So it's like, we get a complimentary glass of champagne, not even a centimeter worth of champagne in that joint. Like, not even like an ounce in that joint. Like, it's literally like a taste, but it's all good. Super Bowl happened. My team lost. They played well, in my opinion, till the second half. Defense ain't look like what I heard the defense looked like all year, from what I heard. But they did all right. But to me, that's just a testament of superstars, a testament of great players, and a testament of like what that halftime speech like. So it represents, like, you go in that room, you say something, and then you come out and y'all do what y'all supposed to do. So hats off to the team that beat us. Hats off to them, and hopefully we do as well as we did this year next year.
It's over for you guys, but yeah.
Way to hate, man.
I try my
best,
been a
while since Philly was in the Super Bowl, right? Or has it been?
Not too long ago.
Not that long.
Maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It went, I don't know exactly, but it went
2018.
That's a long time to me.
2018.
That's a long time.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Look at the Cowboys.
Can you hear me?
30 years.
Yes, 20. Yeah.
I know. Cowboys is a whole nother story.
Yeah, 2018 ain't that long. You've been watching Tom Brady win so much. Like, 2018 ain't too that ain't that far away.
Like, seems so long ago.
We did get a lot of people come out. I guess they saw our clip about like the Monday after Super Bowl being off. Mm-hmm. So we did get a lot of people come out and say that they had the Monday off, a lot of different commands, and people worked it out. Only thing with me was I wanted that. I didn't have the Monday off, but then I also wanted Tuesday off. I wanted Valentine's Day off. I wanted Valentine's Day off too.
I tell you, man.
Wait,
hey,
you the CMC still, right?
Man. So again,
No, you're not the CMC no more. I was about to say you couldn't talk to the CO and be like.
No, I was acting, but I'm glad you brought that up. So they had me in a duty group. They had me in a group chat for like the duty officer. So they would text, like if anything happens, they text the CO, they text the CMC, So I was a part of that group chat. And the whole time I was thinking like, man, when I turn over this, I'm gonna have to tell them to take me out this group chat, man. They not gonna automatically take me out this group chat. They took my ass out that group chat so fast.
Bro, they took you out that quick
out that damn group chat. They might have took me out that group chat. Bro. He came on a Friday. They might have took me out that group chat Thursday night.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny dude, because I'm in the Master Chief's in the Master Chief emails, right? Because at first we didn't have a Master Chief and I was the guy over there, right? So they haven't took me out of there. I'm glad they haven't took me out of there, bro. I be getting some good info out of that, though, man. Hey,
that's where the good stuff come in at. Yeah. I'm going to miss it a little bit. All the trainings, like the exclusive trainings with exclusive facilitators and stuff like that. Some of that stuff was pretty cool, man. Yep. Speaking of that, the list came out.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I had some good people on that list, man. Actually, my chief that was on McCain, man, he was a DCCM, man. Now he picked up Master Chief. Good guy, man. Good dude, man. He's going to do some great things out there, man. He's a good leader, man. So looking forward to see what he do out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a couple people on the list too. What about you, Tish? You know anybody on the list?
Not on that list, but on the warrant officer LDO list. I knew a couple people off there. I knew a couple people on that list. So shout out to all of those folks. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big time.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Oh, and you remember I was telling y'all about the Wonder Twin thing, right? The Wonder Twin. Yeah. My Wonder Twin picked up warrant.
That's nice. Is your Wonder Twin here? Like where you are?
No, he's in he was in Guam and then he went to Jersey. He's in Jersey.
Congrats. Where you at in Jersey? Like Colts Neck or something?
I don't fucking know.
What are you doing in Jersey?
Somewhere. Well, so he's an FTS. He's FTS. So one of those commands out there in Jersey, I think, is where he's at. So yeah, got to see my Wonder Twin make it, and he's put in like no lie, like I think he said like 6 times, 6-7 times.
Nice. Yeah. Just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Yeah. Message to everybody putting their packages in. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Funny story. I was like browsing through social media. I'm on like this Facebook group, and it's just like all military. Mm-hmm. And this one article came up about the Army like having their first like rap group. Like no lie, legit, like rap
getting
group.
It in.
So,
getting it in.
And so it's like we have our rates or whatever. Like their rating is like them being a rapper. And so it's supposed to like, it's so they can appeal to the culture and like kind of get to like it's a recruiting tool. Pretty much. A recruiting tool. And so they have like, shows set up and they're supposed to be touring and all of this stuff. So it's like
I saw a little bit of it. I saw a little bit of rap, man. I saw a little bit.
It's like a real live thing. So I just thought that was like real interesting. Like, do y'all like see the Navy doing something like that? Or do you think, well, first off, do you think that that's a good look for the Army? And do you think the Navy should
I don't know no more, man. I don't even know no more. Right? I'm gonna tell you why I don't know. I don't know because we are freaking changing so much, man. Like we are doing so much to benefit, the younger generation and trying to, vibe with new things, man. So I wouldn't say it no more, man. I'm open to everything now, man. I'm about adapting, man. So I'm an open book now, man. I'd never be that guy that put anything in a box anymore. show me, and I'll let you know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. A good look? I don't know. I mean, it's a rap. To me, for me, rap is an art form. Mm-hmm. For me, I know some listener probably just threw up in his, throat or whatever. But for me, rap is an art form. So it's like, when have we ever had like artists like using them as recruiting tools or whatever like that? So I know we got a military band, but that's not like, our Navy band or whatever. And I know all of other services got bands and stuff, but they're not like used as recruiting tools. Like, all right, we going to throw some people in this room so they can rap, so they could get this demographic of people to join. Like it's like, who the fuck, like who's at the table? Like, yo, this is what we need. Like, we need rappers to get these people in these urban communities to join. Like, we need people that look like the people in the communities that's in the military to go out in these places and talk to them or be an example. Or we need to, and I hate to plug this type of shit, but we need to push things like what we're doing, like podcasts and things like what we're doing with people that have been through what they've been through and things like that to use as a recruiting tool. So it's like twofold for me. You can put me on a soapbox early. It's like, it's twofold for me, because the first part of it is like, is it progressive? Is it cool? Do I think it's okay that the Army got people rapping and things like that? I got no issue with that. Like, that's something that's been a major part of my life forever. I'm going to talk about in a second in a funny story. The second part of this is like, if we only are using rappers as a recruiting tool, I don't really want to hear that on Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I really don't want to hear that on Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like fried chicken. To me, that's like fried chicken and watermelons at the Black History Month event. Right. Like, oh, let's get these rappers. Let's have them do a jig and get some urban people in or whatever. That's my opinion on it. Like that. However, kudos to the guys doing it. I wish them like great luck. I thought they had different jobs and it was like a collateral and they did music stuff on the side. But if that's their primary job, I don't know. Like, how do you? Hey, stop, man! You can't just play with toys right now, man. I'm doing a pod. Unfortunately, it's just me here. But
leave that in there.
Sorry, man. Yeah, it's staying for sure. But yeah. So I just don't see that being a thing. Like, I like it. I think it's cool, but we need to find other ways to utilize these talented young men than just saying like we gonna throw them like out in the middle of the recruiting office in Philly and see how many people come in.
Right.
But like you said though, Damo, big shouts out to them though. They doing something they like. You know what I mean? But I just don't. I'm like, being a recruiting tool. I don't know. That's kind of hard. It's kind of like pointing the finger at a certain individuals when you do stuff like that, man.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they positive like young men or whatever. So cool, but like you said, it's like you said, it's like if you grab a group of if you looking for a certain group of people and then you take like a stereotypical thing that you think is going to make these people do something and then you throw it right there,
right? And
then like that's not the case. And then 9 times out of 10, there's a bunch of restrictions on what they doing. There's a bunch of things they can and can't do with what they doing. And so the people that you think you're going to reach, you might not reach depending on whatever restrictions you placed upon what these guys got to do. So, so boom, I answered it like 3 times already. Do I like the fact that they doing it? Yes. Do I like it as a recruiting tool? No, not at all. You got anything else on that, Tish?
No, I completely agree. I don't like it being a recruiting tool either, because it's almost like they're insinuating that, that's kind of, they're putting everybody on all Black people, I'll say, in like one group. Like, oh, Black people like rappers. Let's put out a mixtape and then we'll get more Black people in. It's just like, there's no other culture are they recruiting like this. They appeal to their intellect. They're using academics. So, or are they using something like rap when it comes to like,
you think it's a race thing? I don't think it's a race.
I don't think it's a race thing, but I can see
that's who they're gonna appeal to.
How it can be perceived as race.
Yeah, but I would argue against that. The only reason why I say I would argue against that is because right now hip hop is the number one genre, period. So like as we just talking and thinking, like all young people right now are listening
look
to
at rappers, right?
Yeah.
Like looking toward rappers. I do think that the large demographic that it might be aimed at is that demographic that they may believe it could relate to. But I think it's like younger people, period. I don't think it's a rap, I don't think
race.
it's solely a race. Yeah, I don't think it's solely a race.
Yeah, I don't think it's solely race, but
okay,
it's gonna.
Yeah, because okay,
I don't like it though.
Yeah, man, perception is reality sometimes too, though. You know.
Yeah.
What you mean by that? I don't know. What you mean by that?
Well, I mean perception. I mean, regardless, like it's 3 of us on here right now, and 2 of us kind of like felt that type of way a little bit, man. You know what I mean? Like, so it's the perception of it, I think. But I'm with you. I don't think it is though. But I can see how people would think that though.
Yeah, I think it's 2 sides I think it's just 2 sides to every coin or whatever, right? Yeah. Some of it to me is race, but some of it's not. And shout out to all our listeners too, man. Everybody. But I do want to get to look, I got the dog's toy in my hand now, but he was going crazy with this. But I do want to get to me, like, so he's talking about rapping. It's funny because you put these topics in a while back, Tish. You talked about one of your topics had to do with like physical fitness, and we're gonna talk about that soon. But another one of your topics had to do with rapping. So I gotta give you a shout out for your foresight. But let me tell you what I did 2 nights ago. So a rapper, right? I don't want to get too deep in this because I don't need people going search for it, right? But a rapper went on live, right? Like a famous dude, and he was holding like a like you come up and you rap kind of thing,
like an amateur night type deal.
Oh, that's offensive. Like I take offense to that.
But like, okay, my bad.
I take offense to that.
I'm offending everybody today, apparently.
But he was amateur night.
Open mic. That's open mic.
Yeah, it was like an open mic. It was like an open mic, and he's like, "Yo, just come up," And I'm like, I'm waiting for Angeline, my wife, to like finish cooking food. I'm just in my in this room here, the office, and I'm like, man, let me just say I'm gonna join live, and I'm gonna rap a verse. So the verse I chose was a verse I wrote in 2009 because I knew I could remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like I every now and then I write some stuff. Now it's a little different. It's a lot more tamed than the stuff I used to write back in 2009. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just choose this thing from 2009, and I can remember it. I'm gonna go in, and then by the style, the way these guys were rapping, I was like, okay, yeah, this a match, what they're kind of doing. So to my surprise, they picked me, right? So all I got is this verse from 2009. So now I'm on live with this, this rapper, and I start rapping, and I never knew that if you go on live with somebody, it tells your friends that you're on live. So they go watch your ass on live. I would have never went on live rapping if I knew that other people that was my friends would see me, rapping on live. I would have never did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm rapping. I'm like, at first I'm trying to now mind you, I wrote this in 2009. I cared way less about the words that I used in those days. Right. But at first I'm like trying to blurt the words out, but it's sounding like the verse sounded unnatural. Sounding like, so I'm like, man, fuck it, man. I'm going to just say whatever. I'm going to say everything that I wrote here and just, throw caution to the wind. So I just start spewing obscenities, like things that I'm years removed from saying, right? Then I look down at the live and I see people in the live that I know that's in the Navy. I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm like, and I'm like, damn, yo, the one time, I haven't done anything like this in years, probably 10 years or something. The one little break from the norm I take to do this, motherfuckers in the Navy is in my live while I'm rapping, saying shit that I will never say in today's time or whatever. So, first off, if anybody took offense to anything that I said in that verse, I apologize. I had a little moment of old man back in the gym trying to shoot a couple shots, a little moment of humanity. I did something I wrote in 2009, and if it fucked you up, it fucked you up. On the other side of that, I got some friends, some family members like, man, don't even worry about that. Like you had a human moment. You did something that you love to do, that you've always loved to do. And it seemed as if the response was pretty good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I got to take it like that. But I can't lie. After that, like when I saw that Navy people was in alive, my heart kind of dropped. Like, oh, here I go. Like if I ever wanted to be the first black McPon, that video will come out and it's over for me. Like it's over for me. They could be like, this is your king? Like this the guy you choose to name your company after? What you do? Not this guy. Like you see him on here spewing these obscenities, like not this guy. And it ain't, and you know, I'll be like, yeah, that shit was from 2009, but it's not 2009. It's 2023. You're seeing like so if we did have to do a DRB, that was my DRB. I fucked up.
I tell you, man,
was it really that bad though?
I saw it. No, I didn't see the video. I seen it pop up on my feed. And by the time I was doing something at the time, I said, oh, I didn't know what it was. So as I'm clicking, trying to figure out what it was, it said something like the content was removed or gone or something. I'm like, dang. Then I saw your little comment in the bottom. I was really mad, dude, because I was trying to get it. I was trying to get it, man.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
It was just words. It was just words I wouldn't. And no F-bombs. No F-bombs. Yeah. But, you know, words that I would never use today, like words that we would never use on this podcast or whatever like that.
Okay.
When I and I know y'all understand what I mean when I say F-bombs, right? I'm not talking about fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so at first I was like, wait. And I was like, oh, got it.
Yeah. But you talked about military rappers, right? You know, my question is about military strippers. What's your thoughts on?
Wait, you got to get a background.
Well, even before, like precursor, it was on my first ship. One of the young ladies was a stripper. She moonlighted as a stripper. She's doing pretty good now. She got a lot of good stuff going on, social influence and stuff like that. But for a little bit, she either was a stripper or we all thought she was a stripper. I believe she was actually a stripper. But this is, do I have the story? Oh, yeah, right here. But I don't even know if this is a credited source, man. But matter of fact, what the hell she doing? So it says, sailor says the Navy doesn't care. She's raking in thousands while dancing at night. A U.S. Navy sailor is reminding us why service members and TikTok don't always mix, and raising questions as to just how low the bars come down when it comes to what is and isn't acceptable in uniform, right? And I'm reading this straight from somebody else wrote it. So none of this is my opinion. I'm just reading it. I'm not going to say her name, but she's in the Navy. It says American Navy. So I don't even know if this is an American who wrote it.
I think she's reservist.
So you know they going,
I think she's a reservist.
Yeah. So it says American Navy. So I don't know if the person who wrote this article is American. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're going to come down real hard on us if they're not. But you said she's a reservist. Mm-hmm. So it says she's in the Navy. She got 291,000 fans on TikTok and 26,000 Instagram followers. She double duty after hours, trading in her camis and workspace for more racy attire in a poll. Somebody commented under her page, under her post and said Article 15 on the way. And she said she thinks she would have gotten one by now. Her unit is very supportive and applauds her for getting her bag. So that's pretty much, you know, what she says. So she's a side gig stripper. Like I said, not going to say her name, but I do see one of her pictures. It looked like she's doing like a dance, like some seductive dance in uniform though. On one of these pictures. It's like a screenshot from her TikToks. But, you know, so we talked about rappers. What about strippers?
So I'll say this. Okay. So you can moonlight. You know, I gotta throw down the legal the legal side of it. Yeah, so you can moonlight, which is having a job on the side. You're supposed to go get authorization from your command before you do it. Yeah. And there's certain things that you can and can't do in any moonlighting type of job. And so one, you can't use the military to like, you can't monetize your military status, can't like help in the monetization of whatever you're doing. So you shouldn't, she shouldn't be on a pole with her uniform on.
Yeah, because that could be like a kink, right? That could be like a kink,
right? Yeah. And it's not supposed to be service discrediting. So that's kind of service discrediting by having your uniform on there while you're dancing on the pole. And then also, it can't have like a conflict of interest type deal. And so we've had conversations about this before in our office when OnlyFans kind of became this big thing. There was a girl that was in the barracks doing OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And someone reported it to NCIS and all of that stuff. But the only thing that she was doing wrong that was against any regulations was doing it in the barracks. But she didn't have that she was in the military. And from her profile, you couldn't tell that she was in the military. And she never had on any uniform or anything. But someone just knew of her doing it. They subscribed to it to get her info and then send it to NCIS.
Yeah.
They was snitching. They was hating real bad. It was
sleeper cell. go check her out.
Right. But yeah, so like you can do it, but you can't have any type of military affiliation to it. Like even if you have like your OnlyFans page and you have it linked to your Instagram page, nothing on either one of those need to have anything to do with the military. Because if you have like a picture of you in uniform on your Instagram page, that's still linking you to the military, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
But no one can stop you from necessarily doing it. So we even had a Navy SEAL that was he was a porn star.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that story, man. I'm just laughing. I don't want no smoke with him, so I ain't gonna say the words. I'm just laughing at the story because I know I've seen pictures. I know how it look. It don't look. It ain't look 100.
Right. And I think he had been doing it for like 8 years before they found out about it. So
it ain't look right, man. But how to do like back to how this dude like went to find out that she was like, how long was he on her page? Like what's up with him? Like,
you know what?
Somebody gotta figure this out. Oh yeah, I'll do it. Let me check it out.
Do you think that it was a dude or do you think it was a female?
It could go either way. I know this. Is hate. Whoever was doing it was hate. Whoever was doing it was hating.
Probably a female that was doing it.
Whoever was doing it was hating, but I know a dude was on it. I know at some point a dude was thinking he was doing a good thing for the command, and he jumped on.
Well, no, it actually probably happened after he got turned down.
You know what? That's true. That's true. Yeah. That's probably exactly how it happened.
And I know he went deep into his investigation and he did the DM because OnlyFans, they got the regular subscription and then they got you like pay to play or whatever. So they got to pay for so they got to pay for the DM, right? I know a little bit about bunch, right?
Okay, I'm educated.
I don't know anything either.
Listen, So they got to pay. So I'm sure he paid extra for DMs or whatever like that too. So I'm sure he did that.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, whoever they probably did, but I know that because you had to actually pay to subscribe to her OnlyFans page, and so when they took like pictures and then sent that over to NCIS, and NCIS couldn't see it because they would have to subscribe to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoever,
like, yo, we chilling.
Right?
We
they
chilling.
were like, whoever sent this information, like they had to have subscribed to it in order to get the screenshots. So I guess,
and that's a paywall. Like most people are protected behind like a paywall. So now, like you put in an extra effort to like get somebody hemmed up or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? And but like you said, she shouldn't have done it in the barracks, right?
Right.
If she was outside the barracks, good to go.
Yep. She would have been at home. She would have been fine.
So here's another question about if y'all think something was right or wrong, right? Carrier, and it's just, y'all made me think of this, but it was, as I was like kind of looking up stuff on the stripper, I saw something about a Carrier CMC. It says Carrier CMC who urged crew to clap like we're at a strip club resign. Right. So it says 7 days after urging the crew of an aircraft carrier, I ain't going to say the name of it, to clap like we're in a strip club to welcome aboard Mike Pence, the Command Master Chief resigned. He said, today I want each of you to know that I'll take full responsibility of my mistake last week. And together with my family, I've decided to retire. I thank you for being my family where my family cannot be. I thank you for looking each challenge in the eye and conquering it. I thank you for making my tour as Command Master Chief the very best tour in my 28-year career. So apparently it says like a few sailors and some spokespeople from the ship felt like that was inappropriate for him to say that in front of the crew. Clap like we're at a strip club was what he said. What's y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I think it's inappropriate.
Is it career ending?
There was no disciplinary or anything, right? It was just he just decided I'm just going to retire.
Yeah, he just decided to retire. But I mean, he probably was like to me it sounded like he was ready to retire. Like him and his family was ready to go. He was looking for he was looking for, hey dog, I don't know if you listen to that, bro, but it sounded like you was looking for an excuse, man. Like, yo, there's too much pressure with this shit. I gotta go. Like, now here's the thing though. Clap like we're in a strip club could be offensive depending on, because as I'm thinking about it, I never clapped. I've been to a strip club before. In case anybody wondering if I ain't about to act like I never been to a strip club. I never clapped at a strip club though.
Clap. Right.
So what is he saying? Clap.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, so that's offensive.
That's the only thing that's clapping in a strip club.
Yeah, that's offensive. Hey, I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna take that out, man. So we can't just say it, man. No, actually, it's staying in. It's staying in. Hey, let me give you my. It always happens like this. Yeah. Before you go, I'm sorry. It always happens like how we get real ignorant the episode after the wholesome episode. It naturally happens like this. For the second time listeners, sorry, we got more wholesome episodes on the way, but we always get very naughty for some reason after the wholesome episode. So
hey, my opinion, man, I think he did the right thing. Right.
To retire?
Why do you think he did the right thing?
Because words matter, man. And you in a position like he is, man, like he's the CMC, he's a part of the triad, and you put out something like that. And not only like a lot of times we just trying to be, part of the team and think it's cool to say stuff, right? And then all of a sudden we cool and we say this shit, then we had to go in our little office and think about what we said for a minute. Damn, did I just say that shit? And then on top of that, a couple sailors, if they like you or don't like you, put it in a CO suggestion box and be like, hey, man, I think it was inappropriate that Master Chief said clapping. You know what I mean? I mean, clapping hands.
He just said clapping. He just said clapping.
Clapping. My bad, clapping. Clapping, right? Yeah, take that out. But
no, that is a stand. It's cool.
Yeah, he said clapping, right? Yeah. So I'm telling you how it goes. That's how it goes, man. When one person bring it up, then it's just like wildfire. Like people start talking about it more and more and more and more. And then, sooner or later, you feel like, okay, now I'm going to do something at the command and I'm going to say something and what's going to happen to me. Right. And then we say, well, Master Chief said this.
And then nobody said him.
And all that type of stuff start going back and forth. And I think the best solution to kill the whole situation was him resigning or retiring.
What they say in Dark Knight, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Right.
That's what being a cool old head is. Like, right. you either die as the cool old head or you live like long enough to see yourself become the old head that's doing too much.
Right.
Like, yo, he doing too much now. Like he might, like you said, he might have thought, like he said, he used to say jokes, the sellers can relate to it. They think he cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's exactly you doing too much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Exactly what happened, man.
The higher you go, the harder you fall.
Yeah,
and if it was clapping, or even if it could be kind of translated to clapping, like whatever, like that, like I also agree that bro, resign, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I just can't imagine.
I don't know if I would, if the whole retiring thing Because it's like,
so what you gonna do if you just told your whole crew,
send them to one to run?
So listen, it's a carrier. In case I didn't say that, it's a carrier. If you just told the whole carrier before the vice president of the United States came with the ship.
Oh yeah, you did say it was the vice president.
The vice president, Mike Pence.
Oh nah, he gotta go.
It would have been worse if it was Kamala, but
7,000 people on there, man. 5,000 to 7,000 on there.
And then it's the vice president too. Like
now,
you acting up with the vice president there?
He came on board. It's probably before he came on board. He just
before he came,
he
might have been out in the vestibule,
telling everybody like, "Hey, we're gonna."
What if he was in the vestibule? What if he was like right out, like how they all like getting ready for the all hands? What if he was like right waiting, like yo, behind the doors, it's Mike Pence. He on his way out. I need all of y'all to clap like we in a fucking strip club.
Like there's so many other analogies that he could have used instead of strip club. He could have used something else.
Hey, my
he
man,
knew
you
it probably
became my main topic.
He said it.
Right.
Time he said it. I bet the CEO and XO gave him that eye, bro. Like,
your crew probably got
you know what I mean? Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And then the thing is,
everybody's looking at each other like, what did he just say?
Right. And it's like if he was not a CMC, then it'll be easy to be like, okay, we're gonna like do what we call like a detachment for cause, which is real bad. It's real bad administrative. Yeah. But you go to a different command, they can still do disciplinary and all that stuff. But
he's a CMC.
You know what? The same thing could have happened to him though. It could have happened.
Not for CMCs. Once
they would have probably sent them to one of the little.
They'd have moved somewhere else or something.
Building somewhere.
They did though. I think they did till he
temporarily.
I don't even know. I don't even want to get.
No, I'm telling you, with CMCs, once you get DFC, you out of there.
Gotta go.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you out of there. Go. So there's really no rehabilitation at that point. Go. So
my question is my question is this. Not even my question. This is what I'm thinking. Imagine that conversation with your wife though. Like, yo, baby. Like, I just think about like how much shit we cradle,
right.
That like our wives, like they might not hear that, like your family might not hear the full story when you take it back home. You know what I'm saying? Like your mom, like, hey, I thought you had an advancement exam coming up. No, I don't do that till next year. Knowing damn well you took it, but you just, you ain't make it. So you like, I don't take that yet, mom. I don't take that. But coming home and telling your wife, after 28 years of service, you're a command master chief. You're a mature man. Coming home and telling your wife, like, hey, babe, I might be getting out soon. Why? Because I told the whole crew to clap like we was in a strip club in front of when the vice president was on the ship.
I tell you what, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I think for me, saying that'll be funnier in front of my wife. You know what I mean? Like just saying clap.
It depends on your wife.
I could make that funny and yeah.
No,
but I said it in the wrong.
Yeah, how would the experience of going to your wife, telling her that might be the reason why you out of your why you
it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy, man.
You like, hey, babe, I'm resigning. She like, well, you put in a lot of good work, a lot of good effort in the Navy. What made you finally make the decision? Well, last week.
She probably was like,
you just made that shit bad. Don't make it sound bad, bro.
Like, you deserve it. You've been working so hard.
Oh,
man. She probably hot.
I would just think about how I could slide that in and make it sound good. And Damo just killed all that, man.
It was either that or baby, the Navy don't love you back. The first thing you did and they doing this to you, it's time for you to go.
Oh, yeah.
I've been telling you for the last 6 years.
But why they do it anyway? Then you got to tell them that story. Oh.
Yeah. But the longer you stay in, you start running out of fucks to get.
28 years, it's easy for him to say I'm retired. It was easy
right,
to say that.
Right. Yeah.
My guy became our main topic, man. We gave my man 20 minutes. We gave my guy 20 minutes. Congrats, man. You got 20 minutes. For something. It's old news, too. This is like from a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, this is Mike Pence. I said Mike Pence.
That's right. Yeah, that was
my man got 20 minutes on some old news. But listen, I got some quick takes. My first quick take is this. I don't brag much, but I leave flat screens on ships, right? So that's, my quick take. I leave a flat screen on a ship, right? I don't do too much bragging. I don't boast. I don't talk too much about myself. I try not to make myself seem bigger than I am, but I let y'all know. If you come to the shop after I leave a shop, you got a fresh flat screen in your office. I leave flat screens on the ship. I would hope so, Damo. Some people like Damon, people like Damon get the HTs to unmount they flat screens, and then they leave it the ship with a C back in the damn flat screen where they leave the ship.
No, I don't, world. No,
that ain't cool, man.
Listen.
Leave them flat screens on the ship, man. You bought it with a star card. It cost $250. Leave that flat screen on the ship for the next man, yo.
I agree with
woman.
You.
Let me tell you how petty I am.
Yeah, leave the flat screen.
Nah. Let me tell you how petty.
I told you some people.
Let me tell you how petty I am. Once I brought a monitor. It was a nice, large computer monitor. And when I left, I think I actually went upstairs and the person who was coming in, they were like, "Oh, can I keep your monitor because I don't have a second one?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, but I'm going to need it back though." So then she ended up retiring and I hit her up like, "Hey, I need to get my monitor back." Mind you, this like 2 years later. I'm like,
that's dirty.
I'm like, "I need to get my monitor back." She was like, "Oh, COVID. I ain't been in the office for a minute. I had surgery and then I retired. Like I'm going straight from convalescent into terminal and I ain't going back." And she's like, "But you can call this person and see if they," I'm like, and I call that person, they ain't got my monitor. Nobody know where my damn monitor is. So I'm like, "Hey, you gonna have to come up off my, like, you gonna have to go find, you retired, you can go back on base, go get my monitor."
So what was you gonna do with this old ass monitor?
I don't know, but it was mine.
I know she asked for the monitor, but really you was giving the monitor, you was leaving it for the ship though.
No, I was not.
I mean, she asked.
Legacy. It's for the legacy. This is for the legacy, man.
My monitor back.
That's crazy.
And it was a nice one too, though. It was a nice monitor.
It was nice 3 years ago when you got it from the Next.
Way more nicer.
With your stock.
I think I probably already had it for like 2 years for real though. I let it go. I never did get my monitor back. I just kind of let it go. I was like,
but what if you saw her? What if you saw the lady who had it?
I wouldn't say nothing about it.
It wouldn't be a conversation at all?
Oh my goodness.
I might be like, "How's retirement?" Yeah. Hey, I never did get my monitor back. We never did find it.
Hey, so we got more objects in the sky. That's another quick take of mine. We shot. It's kind of. I hate it when we pod sometimes because we pod for the listeners. We pod on Thursdays and then like everything happens in the world and the military on Friday.
Yeah.
So that the news cycle over the weekend could be super crazy. It's all strategic. Like somebody got this whole thing planned. So everything happens on Fridays, right? So we pod on Thursdays. And then by the time the episode comes out, it's like after things happen. So if people like expecting us to talk about something, they're not going to hear about it from us till like 2 weeks later. So I've been trying to tell Damon that we need to pod twice a week. So listeners, if y'all got an issue and y'all want to hear us more, let Damon know we need to pod twice a week. And then, we be twice a week. But there's more objects in the sky. I appreciate you, Damon, for just taking that and not, for the betterment of the pod. I appreciate it. But it's more objects in the sky. So I done told y'all about my Doomsday podcast. It's coming soon, man. Tish, you gonna be with me on this?
A Doomsday podcast?
No. Yeah, we don't Doomsday. This ain't a long topic, so we ain't got a deep dive. But like we could get right off it. But I'm doing my Doomsday, my UFO, my Area 50. It's happening soon.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll tell you this, Damo. We talked about UFOs and stuff in the sky before in one of the pods before, man.
Yeah.
And me and you was going back and forth, and I was against it. But bro, we had so many objects in the sky in the last month. I'm telling you, this ain't just start happening. I think they keep that shit on the wraps, man. I think it's something going on too now, man. I'm started like, this is too much shit going on.
Let's go.
I'm telling you, it's too much going on. Yeah, I'm with you, Damo. I'm looking now. I'm going outside the door and eyes in the sky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what. I'm hearing helicopters and I'm going outside now.
Yeah.
I used to not do no shit like that, man. I'm looking now, man.
Yeah, man. PTSF. Dark Side Pod or whatever we gonna do.
Right.
It's happening, man, because it's too much. Our last ship actually saw like the documented video of like the whole unknown aerial vehicle that's like moving. Like that was our last ship. Like we were on the ship when they saw that shit and just didn't know, because those people are good at their jobs and they got integrity. So they never told anybody that they saw this UFO, but they saw it.
Yeah, it was some crazy. We don't know what the fuck it was. For real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like some shit pulled up on us.
Yeah.
That was our ship. I'm like,
pulled up on us out there and we did not identify it.
They did the quick
crazy.
I think it was like maybe 2 years ago. No, it wasn't maybe like a year ago out here in Cali, in Mexico. It was like something weird going on in the sky with lights and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember that, Damon. It was like a year ago, but it was like weird lights in the sky. But the thing was, it was moving. But when you look up, you didn't see anything. And it was like there was a cloud around it. And so you could really see it with the cloud. It almost looked like thunder. But the light that was coming off the thunder was like, I don't remember what, but I actually have a video. Record. I'm gonna have to see if I still have it. But I videotaped it because it was just so weird. It was not lightning. But it was sitting in the clouds and you couldn't see anything, and you could just see it traveling like it literally, like it traveled like a cloud. Oh yeah. But
Teaching took us to the next level.
I'm telling you. We'll see if I can find the video.
I was just joking, man.
It was in the news too, though. It was in the news because it happened in like Mexico also, and I think they had like there was something natural disaster that was going on along with it. I don't remember if it was like a power outage or something in New Mexico where it was like they had the colorful stuff in the sky, and then something was happening on the ground that was just like they were associating it with that. So I'm telling you, I was outside looking crazy. First off,
I always watch like the videos and like hear the Mythbusters like, well, how come the aliens speak in American? Like they just whenever they show like the videos of like the alien or whatever, they can speak our language.
Yeah.
Well, how they just came to America because they supreme intellectuals. They know more than us. They can speak every language. I'm sure it's videos in other countries and they speak in those languages, man. They aliens, man. They can speak every damn language.
Right.
Leave that alone.
Right. Because you go to other countries and they speak English very well, actually.
Yeah. An alien speaks fluent everything. Mandarin, English, everything. Leave them aliens alone, y'all. I do want to say this on a serious note. If y'all don't know, if we 45 minutes in, we having a lot of fun. That's what this episode is going to be. It's fun. Listen to the disclaimer in the beginning and take what you take out of it. But I do, on a serious note, I want to say this. We joke around a lot. I've joked around a lot, but I read a story recently. I ain't going to get too deep into it, but I did read a story about a 55-year-old senior chief in Texas who passed away in his sleep while using a CPAP machine, right? So I don't know what the cause of death was. I don't know any more to the story, but I know his wife reported that he passed away in his sleep and he was on a CPAP machine. And I know I joked around a lot about people with sleep apnea, and I probably will continue later, but I'm not doing it right now in this moment because that's like, may he, rest. Like I said, I still don't know the cause, but shout out to him and his family and prayers for them and well wishes, and may he rest well. And thank you for your brave service.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
He put the CPAP machine in the article, so I'm assuming it had something to do with it.
Yeah,
crazy though. Condolences though.
Yeah.
I got a CPAP machine, man.
And we know.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about. Man. I'm like, I was thinking about that.
2 out of the 3 hit me, man. Shit.
What you mean 2 out of? What you mean? What you mean?
I got a CPAP machine, and I'm a seeing chief.
Oh yeah,
I'm just not 55.
Yeah,
so
well,
2 to 3, man.
How many more years? You walked into that one, man. Another serious, but might have fun with it. I don't know. Depending on how Teach feel if we have fun with it or not, right? But poppy seed bagels. Stay away from poppy seed bagels, right? Came out DOD. Actually, from DOD, service members may not. Service members may want to hold off ordering that everything bagel. So a memo came out. A memorandum came out. Secretaries of military departments warning regarding poppy seed consumption and military drug testing. Substance misuse by service members is a safety and readiness issue, and the department remains vigilant in addressing new products and sources that could impact drug testing. Concerns with poppy seeds and drug testing are not new, right? And I work in this field right now in this area, so it's kind of near and dear to my heart when it comes to the poppy seeds. So I'll talk a little bit about it. Codeine, right? So they've been finding traces of codeine, and a report came out a little while ago called a Brady report. A case. I don't know if Teach might know. Teach might know a little bit about that as well. But I had a case where the seller ingested poppy seeds. And then IFADITL, the Internet Forensic Toxicology Drug Testing Lab, they put an announcement as well about holding off on holding sellers accountable for a little bit of time until they figured out what was going on with the codeine traces and the poppy seeds. And it seems as if we figured it out now, and that's why this message came out. And it has to do, for anybody that wants a little bit of clarity from me about the thing with these poppy seeds and like why is more concerning than it used to be. So like, let me go into like the norm. So normally, every now and then somebody could eat a poppy seed bagel and pop, right? That's like something that could happen randomly every now and then, but it's not like that, like normal. However, we were getting our poppy seeds from most of our poppy seeds from guess where? The Ukraine, right? We're not getting them from the Ukraine anymore. We're getting them from Australia. So a lot of the washing and processing techniques are different than the Ukraine's. So the baker or whoever it is that's getting a poppy seed and putting it on a bagel, they're not used to processing at like post-processing, like rewashing poppy seeds and stuff like that, because they usually get them however they get them. Or they are, and they just have different tactics that they don't know they need to kind of exercise more stuff. So packaging, processing, washing, all of this things got to do with the integrity of the poppy seeds when it comes to the codeine. And I want to say morphine as well. Could be off on there, but definitely codeine. So that's the reason why those levels are higher right now on poppy seeds. So the DOD is pretty much saying, stay away from poppy seed bagels for right now. So we should not be eating poppy seed bagels for right now. That's all I got on that. Is it anything what up, Damon?
They also said they're going to go back like into 2019 if anybody popped on, the piss test or something. I'm telling you right now, man, I'm going to be real. I want all my back pay. You know what I mean? I want everything. And I want to have the option to come back in the military or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Give me the option and back pay the shit out of me, man. Automatically, man.
Yeah.
Because this probably been happening for years, man. I don't know how, for years, man. Like, and like you said, it's rare though that I guess you can eat enough, but still though, it's a possibility.
You can eat just one. You can eat like just one joint. From what I was told. You can eat just one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it used me out for codeine, man. We finna eat.
Yeah, it used to was like few and far in between. Every now and then you'll hear something about that. And as of late, it's been more often, I've noticed, with the poppy seeds. And I was just like, at first I'm like, is everybody coming up with the same lie?
Right, yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, really?
You know how the lies travel.
Right.
And I be eating the shit out them bagels.
Right. And we've actually seen a couple cases that's come through. It's like poppy seed, like, oh, we got another poppy seed case. They lying ass.
Yeah, them lies. You catch somebody drink some lean at night at the party, and then they come to work the next morning with the poppy seed bagel in the bag.
Right.
Gotta let the whole command see they eating it. Like,
exactly.
Hey,
like,
morning,
oh, no. I saw you my witness, right? You see me eating this bagel.
He was drinking lean last night. Dog.
Right.
Hey, that was an clean edit, right? Clean edit, technical difficulties, back from the technical difficulties, clean edit. But however, I believe we were speaking about consumption of food, right? Or something?
Poppy seeds.
Right. So segue into, let's talk about this PFA thing.
I like how you did that.
Yeah, let's get into it, man.
Yeah,
Damon, who want to start this? I want somebody else.
So So the first thing we asking, right, is fitness still a priority for the Navy, right? I'm gonna start off by saying, man, like, first off, we are one of the closest things to being a 9 to 5, right? And I don't know no 9 to 5 outside of the military. They got a freaking fitness, you got to do a fitness test for. With that being said, health is a big deal, right? That's for everybody. We want to make sure everybody healthy and things like that. But I want to talk real quick for a lot of people I know, a lot of good sailors that have got kicked out of the military for this Navy PFA. Now, if I was in the Army or the Marines, it could be a little bit different what I'm saying about like the PFA. It's not complicated, like we can do it, right? But BCA, it went from my friends that I know, people who I know that got kicked out, it was more for the body composition assessment that we do. And a lot of people have got kicked out before from it. Good sailors. And I always had a problem with that though. You know what I mean? I always had a problem with it because in the Navy, we're not doing a whole lot of fitness. We're not doing the biggest fitness thing we got is probably damage control when it comes from running, maybe putting on an FFE to go fight a fire or something. It's not like a lot of physical fitness to go on when we talk about the Navy. But I do also know about a health thing though, right? So I'm not too much tripping on the health side of it. But a new instruction came out, a new NAVADMIN came out, right? And pretty much if you had a failure on your record, you can start with a clean slate, which is a big deal, man. Which is a big deal because a lot of times what commanding officers can do, they can not put you up for retention, for advancement, certain programs like officer programs and things like that you can go for that you can't do if you had this failure on your record. So having a clean slate is a big deal for a lot of sailors that's out there and make them competitive with everybody else once they put in for one of these programs.
This is not the first time we did it though, right?
No.
No, we've done this numerous times.
Apparently we and
they don't want to say it.
I just saw that last night that we've done it before. I was like, oh, I ain't know that.
Yeah. And when you read the NAVADMIN, it's more about talking about COVID and things like that. It's a retention thing, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. It's a retention thing, man. Right?
We need more people.
Like clean slate, making a clean slate. Now people think, oh, I got an opportunity now to advance, so let me stay in another year or two because I may have an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like I would have to wait. If I had to wait 5 years and my mindset is 5 years, now I don't have to wait 5 years. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and stay in a little bit longer. So I look at it as COVID, but also I think it's a retention tool, man.
I want to know how long they've known they were going to do this because they went to, after COVID, they went to the once a year, the calendar year. And then they said, okay, we're going to stick to the calendar year thing. And now it's, we're going to erase everything. And usually the PRT cycles are just like a few months long. You have as a CFL, you got a few months of the headache of getting the PRTs together and then that's it. But as of late, these last like 2 cycles, it runs forever. Like, it's a long time. So you had us do all of that. all that time wasted, all of those headaches. Like, and then you just gonna be like, oh yeah, that don't even matter. Like, how long have you known we were gonna do this?
Yeah.
You couldn't have told us that while we were wasting half the year. Like 6 months, like no lie, is how long it takes, especially at a top heavy command like ours, where everybody like, oh, I can't make the date because I got this going on, I have that meeting and that meeting. It's like
and then on top of that,
you can't tell people.
You got like 9 months to do it. Guess when we gonna do it? Probably that 8 month. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody waiting it out. Then you got that CFL, he trying to be hardcore. No, we gonna do it on this date.
We gonna do it because you want to get it over with.
You want to get over with. Whenever that captain says, "Hey, we gonna do it during this time," what time we gonna do it?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's always, you're right. It's always
PT
a weight
at
process.
Your command, Damon?
Huh?
You do command PT at your command?
Man, let me tell you, they are trying. They have been trying to. Hey,
do y'all do it?
No, they've been trying to bring it back, man. They've been trying since COVID.
At your command, do y'all do it?
No. Well, actually, they just kicked it up on her side of the house.
They just started.
They just kicked it up on the headquarters, but not on my side yet.
But y'all wasn't doing it, right?
No. So let me tell you how it
y'all wasn't doing it, right?
Let me tell you.
Hey, listen. Hold on. We did do it before, then we stopped. And now we haven't been doing it for a while. Now we started back up.
It'll always stop.
Everybody
and it'll start back up.
No, I said since I've been there, we did it before.
That's it'll start.
Yeah, everybody did it before.
And it'll stop because of mostly like lack of participation. Because it's a top heavy command.
Yeah, like how easy is it to cancel a PT session? No, like I look like so. This we permission to speak freely. I try my best not to say that. Right? We permission to speak freely. We're charged with saying some real shit. I'm about to say some real shit. I'm sorry.
Say it.
How easy is it to cancel a PT session?
Easy.
Like we had a PT session at my command. You know what we were going to do? We was going to play fucking dodgeball, right? We was going to play dodgeball. We canceled it because it's only like 8 of us. We canceled it because like 6 of the 8 people didn't show up. Like that's like just me being honest.
Right.
Like it wasn't like a, let's make them do it. It was already a, all right. Like it was already a, like it's PT is starting to be like we need to get y'all to do PT some type of fucking way. So it was already all right, the command PT aspect of PT wasn't working, right?
Right.
All right, let me first say I'm part of the problem, right? I'm not even about to get on a high horse in this conversation. I'm a part of the fucking problem because right now I'm not really a part of the solution, even though, so I'll get into it a little bit. So command PT wasn't really working. COVID, all the bullshit that happened. Nobody really rebounded from that. Right. Mm-hmm. So then it became, at my command, I'm speaking specifically, it became, all right, let's roll PT in a 360. 360 wasn't really shit. Right. So, and I'm just being honest, right now, 360 wasn't really everything. And that's not a knock on the people that, put together 360. They gave effort, but the people that showed up are the people that had reasons not to show up to 360. It's always another reason to not show up as well. Mm-hmm. All right. So, and then that's a voluntary thing as well. So the first thing that got cut out from most of the PT sessions was the PT that we thought we would be doing for 360 PT. All right. So that kind of changed. So then it became departmental LCPOs, just PT with your departments. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm not knocking. Yes, it's like we, like chomping at the bit, like, please PT, like, all right, so departmental LCPOs, PT with your departments, please, man, please take them out to the gym and work out with them. It's some junior sellers that have established groups. And I'm speaking about specifically my story, but I don't think it's only my story. Right. So that's the reason why I'm talking about it. So it's some patches of junior sellers that like started PTing on their own and calling us senior leadership out and stuff like that. So we did start a departmental PT and we had a few sessions going. Then the season started. So when our season started, I was a part of it. All right, we can't do this with y'all anymore with our junior sellers. We couldn't do it. And we haven't. And then after the season, it was the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? And then we haven't really gotten back. So the question is, are we prioritizing PT? That was the question, right? Is PT a priority? My answer to that question is no. No. I don't believe from my limited perspective of the Navy right now, I don't see PT as a fucking priority. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but just from my perspective, I don't see it as a priority.
I'm going to say this, Damo. It really, really, man, depends on the leadership, on if it's a priority or not, right?
What leadership?
The command leadership, right? I was at
like just to be specific.
No,
the triad,
I'm saying any command, right? I was at ATG Hawaii. I had a PT guy that was the commanding officer, and guess what? We was at the PT and all the time. PT was ran. He made sure he was out there.
The triad,
the triad, yeah. That's what I'm saying. The leadership triad. Yeah. I got what you're saying. So yeah, you got if they there 9 times out of 10, we're gonna have some good ass PT. I got to the Rafael Peralta. That triad, when we first got there, that triad was all about PT, right? We came up with a program and we PT all the time for that triad until we started coming on board and stuff started moving. So it started getting a little bit different. But I'm a firm believer though, man, when you get that, if you get that triad out there, everybody else is going to follow suit, man. The department head is going to follow suit. Your DLCPO is going to follow suit. The chief mess is going to follow suit. The wardroom, everybody else is going to fall in place.
Right.
But right now, for your question, no. The answer is no. It's not a priority.
We've even tried to get PT, like for our chief of staff, to put it out that it's mandatory to get like participation, because that was the reason why it kind of fell short previously. So we were like, hey, can you put out that it's mandatory? And so our flag sec ended up putting it out that it was. And all of these officers, man, it was just the officers complaining about having to go to PT. And next thing you know, it's not mandatory anymore. And then it's like less participation. Then it becomes to the CFLs. It's like, well, you go to a PT session, it ain't nothing but CFLs there. And maybe 2 or 3 people. And then, you know, the ones that are showing up, they're complaining. Oh, well, it's not hard enough, I think is what one of them said. But it's like, we ain't been PTing as a whole because of COVID in so long. And you want to come out here and like just start straight doing hits?
Hurt somebody. That's what happens.
Right. So it's like, you got to, you know, bring everybody else into it. And then it just kind of fell to the wayside again. And so now here it is. We're trying to start it back up, or I should say they.
Is any of this on the mess? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yes.
Is any of this on the mess?
Yes.
Right? It's on the mess, right? It's on us too,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the other point that I got is the whole not hard enough point, right? I got that. It's a multifaceted point. I got it for the not hard enough point, and I got it for the people that I'm gonna probably address something else that people might not like. But the people that use that we didn't do command PRT for the reasons that they failed at PFA.
Right.
Right. So that's another thing. Like you need to be, if you have a fitness goal or you got a fitness plan, you need to be conscious of whatever your fitness goal and plan is. You need to have responsibility over your own fitness goal and plan. You should not be going out. We're not PTing at the level of Dwayne The Rock Johnson or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We ain't PTing at that level. You know, we already know we don't have sellers that can hit like all of that shit. You know what I mean? So we PTing at the level of, especially for them initial PTs, at the level of the person that could PT at that level.
Right.
We PTing at that level. We not PTing for those dudes. So you need to do 2 days.
Obviously they're disciplined enough to, obviously they're disciplined enough to like be in the gym. Like we trying to help out the people who.
Put another hour in then, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that ain't for you. Yeah, do your warm-ups, do your whatever, your stations on Wednesday, and do ultimate frisbee on Friday with the command, and then do whatever you do throughout the week. Like that's
exactly. Be there for camaraderie, cheer people on, motivate, and then go do your own thing.
Yeah. And then I don't want us to leave the whole other part. Stop using command PT or lack of command PT for your reason that you ain't passed the BCA or your reason that you ain't passed the PFA. Stop. Don't do that. You know?
Hey, and on top of that, it's not going to work anyway. It's not going to work. Right? If you fail that fucking PRT or the BCA, you failed it. You failed it. Not me. You failed it. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I know the command got schedules, and I know people gotta be sensitive to shit, but I'm not really sensitive in the point of like, be responsible, man.
Right.
Like, be responsible. Like do something for yourself. Like this might get me some type of heat, but do something for yourself. If you see that you're not like, if you see that you're struggling or whatever, and you feel like it's somebody you can talk to, all right, go talk to them. But if you've done all of that, you've expelled every option that somebody else could do something for you, you need to do something for yourself at that point, whether that be change it and think about what you're doing, right? Because a lot of these people don't want to think, what's your diet like? Like what you eating? You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about like that whole shit, and you're not eating the right stuff, and you just want to sit here and say we ain't do command PFA, but you ordered a 40 salt and pepper wings for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to get you there. And then you're not ever working out, PT, and eating healthy or doing nothing like that. But the PFA come around and you say, oh yeah, we ain't PT'd all year.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a guy, man, one time, man, when I was a CFL, man, on a little bit of a little lighter note, man, like he ran, so we had to run down and run back, man, and he was on his way back. And it was like 15, 30, 16 minutes, man, and he ran through. I ain't gonna never make Chief.
Yeah. You told us so.
Yeah, that shit, I'm mad as hell. I just want to say that he was mad as hell, man. Ain't gonna never make Chief.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
that was funny.
And you know, like, Damo, what you were saying about, taking some responsibility, it took me back to, well, not really back far, but like I was visiting a friend, and I had said before going, like, yeah, because like he has a gym and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be going into the gym while I'm there. Yeah. So day 3, he's like, you ain't even set foot in the gym yet. And I'm like, why you didn't wake me up? And he was like, your fitness is your own personal journey. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Shut me up real quick. I was like, ew.
You are.
And I stand on that.
Yeah.
I stand on that.
Stand on that.
Like, I'm not getting off that one. I'm standing on that one, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because I know some people might be upset about that, but who cares?
Yeah.
Stand on that. Stand on that. Right? And I mean, really stand on it.
Nah, I gotta stand on this shit.
And I'm gonna stand on that.
And I stand on that.
You gotta stand on that. You can't be crying like that.
And I mean, really stand on it.
I'm telling you.
That's me. That's my take. Some people gonna be mad, but if you're mad at me because you are having issues or you can't pass whatever, I need you to, after you send me a whole message about how you mad at me, let me know what you eating. Let me know what you eating, and let me know your workout plan or whatever like that. And then if you're eating the healthiest you could eat and you working out at a healthy clip, and you just getting overworked for like every single minute of your day or whatever like that, give me that. And then cause it's all cascading. Like most people, somebody would be like, yo, you don't I've been in a situation. I struggle with it too. You know what I mean? I struggle with it. Let me correct those words, right? But somebody, you don't understand when it's stressful. I eat different when it's, all right, take some control over that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody gonna like, I'm almost sure, right? I ain't gonna keep saying that, but I don't think everybody gonna like that message. But what about this whole resetting the failures? We got anything on that? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I think
like I said, man,
part of the problem.
It's gonna help some people out.
It's gonna help some people, but by the time we get back to making it a priority, it's gonna be some struggling ass people, and some people, they're gonna have further. We're allowing them to get further and further behind, because now it's just like, oh, all of my failures have been erased now. I can still do everything. I can still promote. I can still, get these special assignments. I can still stay in the Navy, which you weren't really kicking people out for that anyway. But now, like, where is your incentive to really get it together?
Tish, it's over. This is not going to be a priority again in the Navy. It's done.
You don't think ever?
It's done, right? No, I'm going to tell you right now.
We done.
It's done. When I first came in, when people was getting kicked out for it was like 22%. Now it's 26%, right? That's one thing, right? And now we're doing it once a year. That's ain't finna stop. They're going to keep doing this because guess what?
Yeah,
people like not PT, and people like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't the fact that people don't like PT, and it's the fact that don't nobody want to be in a controlled PT session. Some people don't mind doing their own thing. As long as you let me go out and do my PT thing, give me that time, I'm good with that. But people don't like the command PT. They don't like that type of stuff. But I think this, from a priority standpoint, I really think it's done. I really do think we are not going to take PT as a priority in the Navy anymore. It's over.
I don't like the cascading effect that it has, like, on health. Like, we're already strained when it comes to medical anyways. And physical fitness and nutrition and all that, like, plays heavily in your body functioning. And so we are getting more and more unhealthy, more and more obese. And then we can't even get a medical appointment now. I made a medical appointment yesterday. And they talk about March 23rd.
Yo, I don't know how to make appointments. Like, I don't, if somebody at my command is listening, I done said this twice on the podcast. I don't know how to make appointments. Like, it might be my fault. I might be stupid as hell. I don't know how to do it.
Hey, look, I don't want to get off topic too much. I'm going to give you some advice, man. Hey, that Genesis website, that's probably the best place to set an appointment at, man. Do not go in. Yeah. If you go in, you're not going to get an appointment. If you call, ain't nobody never going to answer the damn phone. So I don't know.
No.
We drinking too many energy drinks.
It's the opposite for me. I can't get nothing on Genesis, but I can call and get something.
I had to register. I had to register for a hospital that's not even at my base. So whenever I make an appointment with the IDC, they say, "Hey, you need to make an appointment with this other IDC." I'm like, "Yeah, I wish I could have just registered with that fucking IDC. Why do I make appointments with y'all?" Like, we drinking too many. We're dependent on energy drinks and caffeine. Yeah, right. Almost every seller I know, up and down the ranks, are like almost every, not every, but almost every seller I know up and down the ranks are at least one energy drink a day. At least one. There's some people that's doing like 3 a day. That shit is not the way energy drinks make you feel. You know that shit ain't good for you, right? And then the thing is, they don't make everybody feel that way, right? Some people like, oh, well, I don't react to energy drinks. That's even worse.
Right.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's even worse. You know what I'm saying? So ain't none of that shit good. Some of these people, and now they got the pre-workout cans, right? Some of these things, so some people, the culture, right? Like, we might not even hit all our topics this episode, right? The culture of this shit is crazy. I had a pre-workout when I was in a gym on a ship. I had a pre-workout can. It was like C4 or something. Yeah. You know C4. What a seller actually came up to me and told me when I was in the gym? He's like, "Hey, Chief, that C4 ain't shit. You need to try this with these deer antlers. This is like 600 megs of caffeine." I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is this extra. Like, yo, come on. Like, we shouldn't be drinking this shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? And now we drinking.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, to double down on that, man. How about they get, a lot of kids now play video games. How about they got shit for video game players that they can take to keep them awake so they can play video games longer? Oh. Like, this is crazy right now, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. And then we got people drinking. I'm gonna talk about video games because I'm a little different when it, like, because that's where we're going as a society or whatever. Because I know we even got rates and we doing it more in the military, so that's kind of where we going. But we even got like people, like, some of those energy drinks are not energy drinks. Some of them shits are pre-workout. Like C4, that's a pre-workout. Like, I was drinking it as a pre-workout. Somebody else had a pre-workout, like 600 megs, and they was like, yo, on a ship, like, dudes were, and I know the young dudes can attest to this, like, the dudes on the ship were like trying to see which was the most potent, like, pre-workout. Like, they was going crazy off this shit. Like, I would go on my shop, some of my guys was like wired, like, yo, he just took the such and such 600 plus, man. Like, ain't doing no damn work. Sitting down trying to get his heart rate good because it's dropping out of his damn coveralls. It's not like, it's like, as far as the healthy thing being a priority, we need to take a step. And I know people listen to us for like real fucking reasons too, right? And like, we need to take a step back and really see what the hell is going on. Let's figure out how many commands are actually doing command PR command. What is command? I don't even remember the name of it. Yeah, command PT, right? So so let's figure out how many commands do command PT, right? Let's be honest, right? Because another thing we do is when we send these reports up, we lie and we say we doing shit, we do shit. Let's be honest. Like, how many commands are actually doing command PT? Right? Yeah. Between the three of us at 3 different, y'all know y'all kind of in the same region, but I think y'all at different commands.
No, we at the same.
We
command.
all saying that our commands ain't doing PT.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all at the same command?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's just on the waterfront side, and I'm on the other side.
All right, so between the two entities, we both saying our commands ain't doing command PT. I'm 85% sure that if we get 10 more people up here, at least 6 of them will say that their commands are not doing command PT. Right. So
and
we need to take
and Damo, we have talked several times about command schedules too. That's not helping either. That's another reason why I'm thinking it get any better. These schedules is not that. It's crazy. And what they say about command PT, you have to let them do it during working hours or whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
Right now with them ship schedules, man, you ain't finna do nothing during working hours but work. You know, I'm just be honest with you. I mean, it's getting crazy.
Schedule
right
plus man.
So we need to take a step back though. Like no shit. Like take a step back and look at the whole situation and find out. You're right, man. Like stats is what we need, man. We need to look at this and look at the numbers.
Yeah, and you know what you just did something that I think we do all the time, and I think we do it wrong because we start balance beaming shit, right? So, all right, so we talking about fitness, and then you brought the schedule to the balance beam. The schedule is going to outweigh fitness on that balance beam every fucking time, right?
Yep.
So, like fitness, we have an issue with. How do we fix this issue with fitness? The moment we bring the schedule into it, even like, you ever see how the Chiefs, we going to start talking about the schedule. You know, how do we, because we got to balance beam the shit. It's like fitness is an issue, and we ain't really doing anything but succumbing to the fact. It's like we just succumbing to the fact that it's an issue. It's like if you trying to discipline your kid or whatever, you told your kid, yo, I'm gonna take your game away for such and such a day, and your kid like start tearing their damn room up. The way to stop your kid from tearing their room up, you just give them the game back. Like, yo, here you go, man. Like, try something else. You know, and that's probably a really bad analogy, but it's probably a really bad analogy, but hopefully somebody know what I'm saying.
You got to start a conversation off this like this, man. We need to fix the fitness issue, the health issue. And while we're in this room right now, don't bring any other conversation up. If you bring up schedule, no, you're out of here.
Yes.
If you bring up anything else, you out of here, man. I don't want to hear nothing else but like, how are we going to fix fitness and health right now.
Yep.
Yes. And that sounds weird to some people. I know some high level people might be thinking that's weird, but we need to start and at some like think tanks or whatever, isolating to one issue. That's our issue. That's my issue in the Navy anyway. Like this identity, I brought it up before. We got this identity crisis. Like we don't know what we want to do, Get a group that's only focused on this one thing. Like how do we improve this?
Right.
And then when they do whatever they do, then bring it to like a fucking bigger table or whatever. Right. And I might sound weird. I don't know, but just bring it to a bigger table and then figure it out from the bigger table. If we got to go back to the drawing board, we go back, but we're focused on this. Nobody brings nothing in from anywhere else. I mean, that's just my thoughts on that, man.
No,
so, and that NAVADMIN to me, it's just like I said, it's the parent that's not good at disciplining their kid, and they just pulling back on. And I'm not giving that analogy because it has anything to do with disciplining service members, but it just got something to do with not being consistent in our planning. Like we just did this in like 2017. Yeah. Like we just did this like very recently. Like we can't just keep resetting this shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got some other sellers outside the window that we reset, like you was talking about with the poppy seeds. Like we got some other sellers outside the window when we start resetting this shit that then got kicked out for this shit. Like I remember when higher tenure was a thing, and like when PTS was a thing, and then like it was sellers that got kicked out because of PTS a year later. Like then they changed that shit, and they like, yo, what the hell?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of wired. This shit got me. This shit got me juiced up, man. It's like I took an energy drink or something.
I was about to say that C4.
It got me juiced, man. Because it's like we playing sometime. Like we just playing with shit. But
but I'm here to tell you though, man. It's no way around it. You can say it however you want to, split it however you want to, but look how many more people stayed in the Navy because of this right here. And that's it for me, man. I think that's the biggest reason. We won't say it, but I think that's the biggest reason, man. More people stayed in the Navy because of this reset right now.
Yeah, and I don't know what message is sending. I don't like my brain don't think that far or whatever. I don't know what kind. I know somebody else probably does, but I don't know what message is sending me. But I just know that we need to start honing in on our fitness program now before it gets too far from our viewpoint. Because everything else is a priority over it. Everything,
right?
Yeah,
except probably training. Except probably training people.
GMTs gonna happen, buddy.
Yeah, because I get those emails about those GMTs. Now, don't play about those.
They fucking around.
Y'all talk about computer-based training?
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all talk about shit y'all skip through and then y'all print out the certificate?
Yes.
That's what y'all talk about. I know y'all probably don't want to say, but that's what y'all talk about. The things you skip through and then we got the certificate.
They have them playing in the background.
The things that you just don't want to be on a hit list for.
Right.
As long as you ain't on a hit list for no training.
Exactly. Just don't be on the damn hit list.
Man. So let's talk. Huh?
No, it's cool. I was just gonna say this is PTSF dark, man. Like this
man. We laugh for a minute and then we cry for a few minutes, man.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, this is sick. This is gonna be a sick episode. Man. I'm sorry.
Hey, I got a question, you know what I'm saying, for you guys, man. I'm gonna start with you, Tish, with this question, man. It's a 2-part question, right? And we talking about EPs, right? Right. First thing is it really, what have you done for me lately when it comes to EPs? And the other part of the question, should they earn that EP every year?
Absolutely, you should. Because I think too many people get the EP and then they hold on to it and then they start to fall back because they already got it. They know they're not going to get knocked down from it. So they're going to start to be mediocre. And then they're holding up that number. And then other people who are grinding and still in it, like, they're not going to always, get up in there. And so I very much feel like you should have to earn it every single cycle. There's a reason why. Now I've explained this in a eval, what do you call it? The ranking board. I've explained this before. There's a reason why there's a start date and a finish date, an end date. We are looking at this date in between here. How did they perform in between this time period? If they didn't hold their EP, give their ass an MP.
I gotta. Hey, let me add it for you. You didn't Damo. Let me ask a question. So we know, Tisha, that's the problem. What can we do to fix that then?
Truth in reporting. That's one of my mottos is truth in reporting. We lie too much on these evals. We give them flowery words. Don't want to be the bad guy. Throw too much extra into the sauce of what we're supposed to be looking at. A lot of politicking. I've been told before, when I was a first class and I know I was going to be either 1 or number 2. And I was number 4 because one guy already had an EP last time. One guy was getting ready to transfer. He actually stayed a little bit longer so that he can be ranked. Because they pretty much promised him the EP. Like, oh, if you stay, you'll get the EP because of politics. The third guy was my wonder twin. It was supposed to be me and him at the top. We were running everything. And so I was number 4, the first MP. And so when I got my debrief, I'm asking the hard questions like, why is this not an EP? I already see what everybody else is doing. So how am I not an EP? And I was told politics. Straight out of the SEO's mouth. Politics. He said, well, some people have already had it and, we can't punish him by bringing them down. And then other people who are getting ready to transfer, we got to give them their bennies on the way out the door. And I'm like, but the way my rate is set up, I ain't got time for that. But so it's too much politicking in it. And that's what I'm talking about, the extra sauce that they throw into what we're supposed to be looking at. Like, everything that we're supposed to look at is on the eval, those blocks. That's what we're supposed to be judging people off of. I don't care that you're getting ready to leave. You should have worked a little bit harder. And then when that one guy who was holding the EP, when he made chief, they were all mad and huffing and puffing because he wasn't a good first class. But he held on to that EP for like 2 years because somebody hooked him up before.
You got anything on that, Damo?
Not much, because I feel like we covered this topic like 4 times.
We covered different parts of it, though. I don't, but yeah, okay.
So that's why I don't have much, but I'm gonna play. So since we cut, so this one I'm gonna say first, a disclaimer for the listeners, especially the first and second time listeners we got. We've covered this topic a few times, so you got to listen to some of the past episodes. The most recent we covered it was with D Guts, but we've covered it before, like a whole lot of times, right? I think we covered it on the one about a barking dog. We covered this a lot of times. So I'm gonna agree with Tish about truth and reporting. That's a broad scope of things that I'm not going to talk about right now, only because I want to play devil's advocate. But before you all hear me play devil's advocate, I already said that truth and reporting is number one. Truth and reporting is a big deal, where everything else I'm about to say is kind of null if we were like reporting truthfully, right? Everything else would be null and void, right? So here's my first question. This is for both of y'all. How does somebody earn an EP? And I'm not asking y'all to answer a question from your brainchild or your technical savvy or your wizardry based off your experience in the Navy. How have you seen people earn EPs?
From the ranking boards. You go in there, you have your shit together. You go in the ranking boards and you see how they stack up against each other. That's how they earn it.
All right, that's more true. All right, that's more truth and reporting shit. Before the ranking board, for the duration of that year, I'm a EM1. I report to a ship. How do I earn an EP as an EM1 reporting to a ship? How do I earn an EP? I'm a DC1 reporting to a ship. How do I earn an EP?
Yeah, I mean, you could be any rate.
So you're saying like outside of like the technical and all that stuff, or?
Yeah. How do I earn an EP? Like, what I got to do to earn an EP? It's crazy that this. So let me.
I got what you're saying. All right. So first off, you being good at your job, right? If you were first class, being good at your job, right? Because you teaching somebody else, people who under you, taking care of your sailors, right? Then you got a department you got to try to take care of, and then you got the command you got to try to take care of. If you're doing something in the command, you're doing your shit in your department, and you taking care of your division. Right, you should have a good chance of at least being in the running for EP.
You agree with that, Tish? Just taking care of people?
I ain't just say take care of people. The things like programs and shit in the department, like command. You got stuff in the command you can take care of. It could be a command collateral. This thing is your department. You can take care of it. It could be collaterals, or it can be sailors or whatever. Then you got to take care of your sailors in your division, and you got to know your job. So
So sailors, right? I just want to make sure I want to keynote. This is an important this is a good conversation, I think. So you said sailors, take care of your sailors, right? Yep. That's the first thing you said. Then you said, what's the next thing?
Department. Things your department may need. That could be collateral.
Like what?
That could be more sailors in your department, or that can be a collateral in your department. It could be programs, whatever the case may be. Department.
So how can an engineer in first class do that in their department? What's some examples? Because we might have one listening. So
some example was a departmental. If you're a departmental LPO, right, you could take things like making sure the 3M reports turned in on time. You can make sure that
so departmental 3MA. You saying departmental 3MA are just helping out?
Just helping out because you
okay.
See, one thing about a departmental guy, man, you got to have your hands in stuff, man. Right. So it's a lot of programs that's in the department. Like in the engineering department, it's a lot of programs. We kind of try to divvy those programs up, right? You got a lot of them in MP. You got some in DC. They kind of do their own thing, but electrician, you guys got programs that you got to take up, like tag out and all that stuff. So having some of those programs that they can hold, because a lot of times a lot of these programs fall to the chiefs, right? But you always you don't have to even have your name on the program all the time to go in and assist with those programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but what's the documentation? I'm speaking from a first class point. What's my how can I prove I'm doing it? What's the documentation then? Because the first thing you said was a ranking board is what's going to get me the EP. So if I'm doing all this in my department, how is that going to be seen and heard if it's not documented?
What you mean documented? How?
You asking me how to document?
You said it has to be documented. No.
Yeah, because you kind of cut out a little bit.
All right, so when I first asked how to get an EP, Damon said the ranking board, right? Mm-hmm. Now, as we going through this explanation of how to get an EP, you said a lot of times chiefs hold these jobs, but as a first class, you could just help out. You don't have to be designated in a job. You could just help out. So I'm asking if I'm not designated in a job and I'm just stepping up, helping out, and I'm asking these questions through the lens that I probably would have if I was a junior seller. How is that going to translate? Like, what's the assurance that translate to this board that you said determines that I could get an EP or not?
On your eval, putting it on the eval?
Just saying that I helped out.
No, like you got to give yourself a title.
If I was the lead guy, right? If I was the guy that was holding collateral, but I got an assistant helping me out, his documentation gonna look just damn near just like mine, but his may say assistant or something like that to his. To an effect.
Okay, all right. So that's what I was getting at. All right, so
same numbers, same everything. Probably that mine would say.
All right, so that's what I was getting at. Then you saying department impact in the area of collateral duties, documented department impact in the area.
Yes, document.
So taking care of your sellers. Results. So taking care of your sellers, documented department impact. What's the third one?
Command. You said. I think it's kind of the same thing, like command level, like CFL, career counselor, DAPA, those major command collateral duties.
All right. And then the last one that Damon said was knowing your job, right? Yeah. What was the last one? Like your job, right?
Job.
Being good at and knowing your job.
And I say that may be my opinion. I say that because I have seen people maneuver and didn't know their job. But I'm saying that because I think people follow knowledge. And that's kind of like my opinion. Okay. People follow knowledge. So.
And then,
you
of
believe
course,
that too?
Yes, I believe that too. And then, of course, looking at the eval, you also have education and training that you have to do to have all the to be like the any courses, college courses, getting a degree type deal.
You saying like that should give me like that's a part of the recipe for an EP?
No, yes, it's part of the recipe, because if you're neck and neck with somebody else who's also, doing the same thing in the command, they're hitting all the wickets at the command. What do you have that's going to break you out? Are you working on your education? Are you getting training courses done, like the PPMEs, BPMEs, and all that stuff?
So are y'all saying that? So are y'all saying that somebody does this? Are y'all saying it's examples of somebody that has done this and gotten an EP and then they stopped doing this?
I'm not saying so they deserve to. That wasn't the question. Was what do they need to do to try to get into like the EP range? It ain't. I ain't saying they.
No, that was my question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was my question. But the bigger question was, should they earn the EP every year? That's the bigger question, right? So what I'm saying is, if I earned the EP this year, what I'm basically saying is, y'all saying that this person should repetitiously perform in this same manner every single year, right?
Yes.
I think y'all saying that, and are y'all saying, I'm not saying that y'all said this, so I'm asking, are y'all saying that it's been cases where people stopped performing in this manner and they still got EPs? Or it's just been cases where it wasn't true from reporting and people were never, ever performing in this manner, and then they got EPs without ever performing in this manner and they held on to EPs?
I ain't saying they never perform in that manner. I'm saying is the fact of like, for example, they had these collaterals in their first year, right? Then they turned some of those collaterals over, or whatever the case, didn't pick up nothing else, or whatever the case may be. It wasn't at the same level, right? But and it's my opinion, my biggest thing is that if you gotta have some kind of documentation to drop a sailor, right? If it ain't documented, the board will look at it and say, hey, this dude now is number 1 MP, and last year he was a number 2 EP. What happened? Right? And now that since that plays a big deal in the Navy, that plays a big deal. That's why a lot of people don't like to
won't drop it, right? Because they're like, oh, it's a crew killer.
The same way.
That's a matter of what you know, though, right? That's like what you That's what you know based off your observation. But that's not how you feel, right? That's what you know.
Yes, that's what I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You feel like if somebody not performing the way that they was performing before, that they should be able to be dropped 1 or 2. But what we know is that's very hard to do. I guess my question is from the mind state of somebody that came to a command, hit the deck place running, did everything that they could do, and they might have like got to that number 1 EP earlier than it was like time for them to like leave the command. Right. They did everything they could do, and they're not seeing, right. And this what so me saying I'm playing devil's advocate, I'm more so trying to get us to shell out like advice to like a young sailor. I came into a command. I did everything that I could do. Like, let's say as an engineer or whatever, should I now like start standing bridge watch? And I'm still doing all that other shit. I'm still doing all the other shit that y'all told me to do. I'm still taking care of my sailors. I still got department collaterals. I still got major collateral duties at the command, and I'm still good at my job. I performed at 110% every single time. How do I go from 110% to 100? Oh, so you just keep the EP?
Yeah, as long as you're still performing and you're still maintaining your performance, then I don't think you should be dropped down. I only think you should be dropped down when those sailors who like start to fall back, like, oh, I already got the EP. I know they're not going to take it away from me. So when it's time to switch over collaterals, I'm going to give up mine, and I'm not really trying to take on more because why should I?
So there's another question, like, because I'm thinking about I'm not thinking about leaders right now. I'm thinking about young sailors. This is a perspective question, right? How many times could it be perceived that the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 guy was outworking the number 1 guy or woman, the number 1 sailor? How many times could that be because it's like,
it could be.
Like, yeah, I can't like, at some point, the number 5 seller is working harder at attaining the qualifications and shit that the number 1 seller already has. They might even be outpacing the number 1 seller because they got to catch up. So should they then be the number 1 seller because they are outpacing the number 1 seller to catch up? Or are we saying that number 1 seller, if they see this person climbing because they're newer at the command, they ain't done more, if they start seeing somebody climbing that, they need to reach higher heights?
It's most definitely, hey, when you look at it also, and those are great questions, Damo.
Yeah, that's a lot
of stuff that we have to try to figure out and try to weed through, right? And I say that to say this, man, like, you got to take in consideration, though, a lot of other things, too, when you thinking about it, right? Like, yes, that young sailor coming up, he could have been a P last year. Now he's got that kicking some ass, and he's pacing himself, and he's up there, right? But you also now thinking, okay, this other guy was number 3 last year. He didn't kick the ass last year, and now he may have lost a little bit of steam, but the number 1 and number 2 just left. Right. So do we make this guy? He already done that shit this guy just did. You know what I mean? And I think that what Damo getting to, he already done that, right?
I guess. But yeah. And I think my question is sustaining always a bad thing? If you are a high performance seller and you've done, because I just don't want a high performance seller to like listen and be like, what the fuck else can I do?
Yeah. But I think if he's doing all that, he's sustaining. I don't think he's going to drop.
Right.
The way we do business anyway.
Or she, yeah. It's like sustainment. Like you can get to a point to where, okay, I've pretty much done everything. I've got all the quals that I needed to get. I have my collateral duties. I'm maintaining them. Sustain can mean it don't necessarily mean you're going up and you're taking on more duties and more responsibilities. Sustain what you got. Don't drop the ball.
Like the best is the best because it's the best. You know what I mean? Like when you walk into that's a dumbass. That was a dumbass.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was like,
I probably sound crazy. But when you walk into like a airline that's, let's say you like Spirit or whatever versus like
I was about to say
let's
Spirit.
go Delta. Let's go Delta. Spirit versus Delta. Like Delta is better than Spirit. The moment you go on to Delta, it's better than, like, you already see it, you feel it, you boom. Like even certain restaurants, like 5-star or Michelin star, whatever, you know the difference as soon as you walk in. You got the warm, wet towels. Like this shit is like totally different than, whatever that is. So some of those restaurants, and what I meant by when I said the best is the best because it's the best, is some of those restaurants and some of those companies, they ain't really changed shit in 20 years or something. They just been the best for a long time. And you could see the difference the moment you walk in versus these other companies that making all these changes, doing all this, trying to
find their footing.
Like, it's like, no, this shit here is the best. You know what I'm saying? That wherever they get them salt and pepper wings out there, that spot. What's the name of the spot? The salt and pepper wing spot?
Royal Mandarin.
Royal Mandarin. Royal Mandarin is Royal Mandarin because it's Royal Mandarin.
Right.
Ain't nothing else Royal Mandarin. Like we going right to Royal Mandarin. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might be as good as Royal Mandarin one day, and then you go back to that joint the next week, and it ain't that no more or whatever like that. That's all. When I said I wanted to play devil's advocate, I didn't want to like argue against. I just wanted somebody to have an idea of what to do and what like how to approach this thing, because it could get, for first classes especially, it could get very competitive.
Yes.
And some people might not know. Like I know when I was like coming up and I like, let's say I got like a number one EP or something. My thought process is like, when somebody like, well, boom, 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 you got it. Like, it's like, what else do I do? Do I go to the pilot house? Do I need to start standing, like watch up there underway? Like, what else? Like, you're telling me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted, somebody got to hear that. And it probably came off bad or choppy. I don't know. It probably came off kind of weird, but hopefully we got some point across to them.
Yeah.
Right. So that was pretty much it. So my question is this, right? So and we hung on to two topics probably longer, and I don't know, I'm kind of amped up for some reason. I don't know why I'm so hyped. I don't know why I'm so hyped. It may be because it's hot in here. I'm sweating. Some of these topics we probably don't have to
these heated topics.
I said I wasn't going to say much about the EPs because we talked about it 4 times.
And every time you say that, we talk about it for a minute. Like we kind of go in on it a little bit. But you just can't control it. One.
So I brought this up before, right? And I said we was going to talk about it. We never talked about it. Another chief comes in to be a liaison between you and your seller, right? So let me paint the picture. You in your workspace. Your seller that you work with hand in hand every day. Right, you talk to your seller. You know what's going on with your seller know what's going on with you. Another chief come in your workspace, and they like, oh, she right here. You know what I'm saying? She in here right now. And then after your chief come in, your seller come in behind the other chief. And, the seller like, the chief like, hey, I need to come talk to you. But she asked me to come with her because she don't want to have this conversation without me here or whatever. That's all you know. That's all you know in that situation. What's on your mind?
Is the person this person's mentor though? Like if it's that person's mentor that they usually...
If it is the mentor, you don't know. If it is the mentor, you never knew that.
I'm probably like sitting on the edge of my seat, like, okay, let's have a conversation. But I'm real like amped, like what's going on. Maybe not in a defensive type of way immediately. Defenses are kind of coming up because I don't know what's about to be said, but I think I'm going to wonder, like, is something wrong with the sailor? Why didn't they come to me? Like, why they got to bring this other person in here? Like, it's about to be some bullshit that's about to come up. I'm probably gonna be thinking, like, have I said something? But it would be kind of like initially before getting into, like, I'll be wanting, like, let's jump right into it so that I can, start figuring out what's going on. Like, don't come in and talk about, hey, how you doing? Like, small talk. Like, nah, ain't no small talk. We about to get right into what's going on immediately. What is it? What was the situation?
She wanted me here to. No, that's not. But we talked on a pod, and I was like, yo, later. You actually brought up something. I forgot what you was talking about. But I was like, later, I want to ask that question, even for the listeners, but the listeners ain't get back. I need the listeners to get back too about this EP conversation we were having, because I know it was choppy. I know it's other points of view, and we've broke it down in many different formats before. So I'm only saying that because you don't get one conversation out of like a podcast. Right. You get multiple. So don't take this one conversation as our end all conversation about evals and EPs. We've had multiple conversations. So it's some things that we might have chose not to say in the realm of what we were just now talking about. But even with that, like, this shit is it's a big community. So we are like open to more ideas and thoughts and shit like that. So, but here was the scenario, Damon. You in your shop, right? Young DC3, not even young DC3. You get a knocked in enter your shop door. EMCS come in, right? And and I'll come in and I'm like, yo, he right here right now, and then following right directly behind me, young DC3 is coming in, and I'm like, hey, senior, I need to talk to you. Well, he need to talk to you, but he ain't want to do that without me here. What's going through your mind?
Well, first thing, I like, to be honest with you, man, all my energy just left, man. Like, my energy towards whatever that sailor is talking about have went towards the person who is talking, who's the liaison. Like, I'm like, why are you here right now? That's my whole energy going through. And it's bad because now I lost focus.
Lose sight
on what's going on with the whole situation. Now, as I regain my focus, I'm going to try to find out what the conversation is about. Because maybe it needs a liaison. I got to think of it like that in a way. But in the beginning, bro, I'm really upset. I'm pissed. I may try to hold it in because I try to be a professional much as possible. And I'm going to try to hold this in and take it or whatever the case may be. But I'm upset, bro. Why you need a liaison to talk to me?
Right.
Yeah.
And then the person who's there, I'm like, why are you even here though? Like what? Like it'll be a bad situation. I ain't gonna lie to you, man, because I most definitely think when someone else is there and need to talk to me. Man, I'm feeling a certain type of way, man, about it. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We'll get through it though.
You might have to do the hold on, DC3. Can you step out for a second?
Right.
I need to talk to see. I need to talk to see you real quick. What's up, man?
Yeah, that's probably how I handle it too. I have to say, hey, hold up a minute, man. What's going on right here, man?
Yeah, it's a couple of our listeners. There's a couple of our listeners that I want their opinion on with that. It's a couple of y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I want y'all opinion on what y'all would do if y'all were placed in that situation. Some of y'all didn't retire, but I still want y'all's opinion. I'm gonna leave.
Oh yeah, and you know what, man? Like one more thing I want to say, man. And Damo brought this up, and he put put me in this situation, but I know it didn't happen to a lot of sailors before, right? And I'm gonna say that I have been the guy that got called in. I'm talking about on first classes, on second class. I've been the guy that's trying to sit in the back and let them get through their little situation. So I know it's happening, but I know, several times I've been the guy. And look, and I got the crazy eyes. The only thing saved me was I was senior. Like I was like, what is senior? So they kind of like left me alone. But man, I'm here to tell you, I have been in those spots, man.
Yeah.
I have been in those spots, man. And for real, dude. And I know it can be crazy. I didn't say nothing though, because I know how that conversation can go. So I'm like, let me just chill. Let me just be here. Let them talk through their little thing, and hopefully it's done with. Yeah.
What if the moment the young sailor started talking, the senior chief or the chief cut him off? Are you going to jump in like, yo, no, let him talk?
Hell yeah.
You could be like, yo, let him talk.
No.
Let DC3 talk.
Let him talk.
I might say
Listen to him.
let him finish, then you
Hear him
talk.
out.
You know what I mean? When he's
Hear him
done,
out.
then you can go.
Right.
Yeah,
like he
hear him
wanted
out.
you here.
Yeah.
You're here.
Yeah.
Sit there.
Hey.
Nah, hear him out. Hear him out.
So like Damo said, man, we would like to hear some of them stories of how it went, man, because I've been involved with something that's been crazy, man. So
Yeah.
most definitely.
You shoot and look at DC3 like, I see what you're saying already, man.
Right.
Hear him? I can already see what you're saying. Oh, man. Hey, so look, we got another topic, y'all. And it got to do with fleet reserve requests. It got to do with people separate. It got to do with like people going to medical when they had like 19 and some change, saying they got a problem, and then like somebody from medical saying like, oh no, you got to get out. You know what I'm saying? Without even retiring, I heard that, like without being able to get like the retirement approved. I want to table that because I feel like it's hot where I'm at. I'm sweaty. I don't want to get too high in like emotional state. I feel like I've been like a little higher up with some of these topics, and I didn't choose it, right? But I do. It's funny because the next topic, I hope that it's not an emotional topic, but it's our Black History topic, right? And here's the Black History topic. I'm going to intro it a little bit, right? So the first African-American Sergeant Major of the Army, Gene McKinney, right? 1995 was, when this happened. So that's 28 years ago. First African-American Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Alfred McMichael, 1999, 24 years ago. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, first African-American, Thomas Barnes, 1973, 50 years ago. When I Googled the first Black MCPON, Delbert Black comes up. Master Chief Delbert Black, MCPON Delbert Black. He was appointed in 1967, first MCPON. So 56 years of the office of the MCPON. And we have yet to have an African-American MCPON or a woman as a MCPON. I'm not approaching this topic with any vulgarity. I'm not upset or whatever. I'm not approaching this topic with any like steam or heat. I'm just approaching this topic with a question. And my question is, how far away from an African-American MCPON, that's part one. How far away from an African-American MCPON do you think we are? How far away from a woman MCPON do you think we are? And just based off your own thought, why do y'all think we haven't had one yet?
Ooh. And I'm gonna tell you first, I think we close. I do think we are close on both fronts. But the reason why we have not, I don't know, man. Mm-mm. I really can't put a finger on the why on that, man. I know we got people that's qualified, right? And that's a fact. I know we got people that's qualified to do the job, but I will be sound a little crazy if I can tell you the reason why, because I really don't know, man. Like it's hard for me to even say anything. Like anything we talk about, I don't know if you guys have heard a lot of our podcasts, man. We big on bringing up things if it happened for the first time. We be like, oh, this is the first, right? And it still happened a lot. Believe it or not, it still happened a lot. And this is another one of those things that I think is coming, man. I think it's coming real soon. I don't know when. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like both of them, a woman and African American, would be MCPON, man.
Yeah, I thought we were like really close. Honestly, if I had to put my money on it a few years ago, I would have thought that it would have been April Beldo. Because I think it was in the talks at one point, right? Before she retired.
I heard about it, but
I was like, that's like water cooler talk. So
right. But I thought that would have been our first one. But yeah, it didn't happen. But I do think that we're close though too. I really do. I think we're close. It's just a matter. I don't know why we haven't yet.
Why y'all think we close?
Just as things change, and we're gaining a lot more first, and I think that we're starting to like diversity is like a big thing right now, and not that the person would only be that because of we need somebody, we need a black MCPON. It's time. Let's find somebody to put it in. But the playing fields are kind of being leveled out a lot more now than it was, some time ago. So that's why I think we're closer.
Yeah, I mean, we got rappers in the army.
Oh my God.
We got rappers in the army. It's high time,
Anything's
right?
possible.
Got rappers in the army. You might as well, right? That's wild, man.
I think we're on our way. And it's funny that another thing why I don't understand why we haven't, because in the chief community, it's so many African Americans. Like we've had our first female Black admiral. Yeah. How we ain't had the first female? How is MCPON not there yet? And the chief's mess is heavily melanated. So that's why I think it's coming. It's close because there's a lot of qualified people out there. So y'all put y'all packages in. Are they like
after that rap debacle? After that little rap debacle I did this week, I could never be a black MCPON. I just want to say that they gonna pull that shit. They gonna pull that shit right up. They gonna pull my file right up. Like not this guy. This not your guy.
This is the guy that put his application right here.
Yeah,
this
ain't your guy. This ain't your guy. I will say that I don't think it's by design. I'll say that, and I think y'all both said that too in a way. Yeah. But I say I don't think that it's a. Somebody might disagree, and if you do, let us know. This that pie, right? Let us know if you agree or not. Right. But I don't think it's an evil group of people. Like, hey, we gonna stop all African American sailors from being a MCPON. I don't think it's by design at this point. Right. I think the people that have gotten a spot were well deserving of the spot. Mm-hmm. And I do think it's coming soon, but I did want to like kind of put on record that I don't think that is a group of people working against us. Right. Yeah. African American.
I will say, I don't even know if everyone want to say it. Never mind.
Don't say it, Tisha. If you second guessing saying it, I know it's something you probably shouldn't say because some of the stuff that you have said,
everybody get counseled.
You probably should have second guessed. Oh man. What you got, Davey? Just say it, Tisha. If it's too crazy, I'm cutting it.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is, like, our track record as of late with MCPONs. Is the greatest.
Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. Sorry. I'm
just saying. We've had a couple that got fired. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm listening.
And so you know how like. When you finally get like, okay, now we got our first black, and then they mess it up. And you be like, damn, we finally got our chance, and you don't mess it up. We ain't gonna ever get back in there. Well, we had a couple people that don't messed it up, so it's like,
might as well. Might as well.
Like it won't be.
Those MCPONs resign. Those MCPONs resign.
They resign. Yeah. But you remember like our track record with presidents. They were not great. We got Obama in there, and he was the most loved president.
But
I think it would be dope to have a black MCPON. I think because we just offered like a lot of swag. Obama had swag. And he was relatable. Yeah, he was relatable. It's a different vibe. Yeah, and so Republicans and Democrats, like just a lot of people just really took to him very well. So I know it might be one of those where it's just like, oh yeah, we got it.
What's the name of that ship? The Way City?
Them, man, you know what I'm saying?
No, I can't do it. They got the files, bro. They got the files on me. But what's the name of that ship? The Way City, where the see, I hate to get like racy, but that's the Way City where them chiefs was like off, like trying to like have sex with the junior sailors, and then they said like they got in trouble because they was black.
Right. Right. I remember that.
It's because we black.
Like, nah,
it's because you was having sex with a junior sailor. Like, chill out, man.
Be quick to try to use that.
Someone made it.
Like, they don't go after everybody else like that. Yes, they do.
Yeah. It's somebody gonna be in my inbox like, yo, dog, I was on the Way City. It wasn't as what you thought it was, dog.
Right.
I can explain. Hey, I don't care, dog.
Any place you be, I don't care, man. Somebody been there before. Leave that shit. Hey, so I got a quick question, man. Got a quick question. I got a little bit of an issue, man, with forwarding emails, man. Like, for me, man, like, you know, well as I know, everybody just saw that email that person sent out. You know what I mean? Everybody saw it. It's like the whole chain of commands, command, boom. And then you go right in your little office and you send, hey, I need you guys to take a look at this email, and you send the same damn email out that everybody else just saw. Come on, I got a big issue with that, man. Come on, man. Like we got a, you know, a text group and all that stuff. You can like hit us up and say, hey man, make sure, or you can hit it to the DLCPO and say, hey man, make sure you guys, you know, knock this out. I got it. But you sent out the exact same fucking email out that they just sent out and then put your little title on the top. Come on, man. Like I look, and I don't know if because I've been in longer now or what, but I got to go talk to him tomorrow about this, bro. You know what I'm saying? A couple thoughts. I feel like I got to go address this situation, man. Like, why you sending that email out, man? Like, again, the same email that everybody else sent out. I got a couple thoughts.
You probably
is this a devil's advocate?
Hold on.
Is this devil's advocate?
No. I know you can't.
I'm not devil's advocate.
But I just want you to know that it's the same email. I will say it again. The same email. No different info. No different anything. Same email. All right, go ahead.
So if it's your CMC or something like that, I believe they doing that as like a foot stomp, kind of like to put their name on that bullet or whatever like that, to put their entity behind whatever that message was. So let's say it came out from the CO and it's about like we need junior sellers or whatever. And if that CMC forward that same shit just to the mess, he or she, they're letting you know like, yeah, I approve this message, which means the mess arm up and get this shit done. That's the first part of my shit. And it looked like you got a response to that.
I do got a response to that. Hey, this was not the CMC that did the stomp. I just want you to, I just want to know what's the CMC. I ain't finna go talk to the CMC about it right now. I got what you're saying, but for my scenario, it wasn't the CMC. Go ahead.
Now specific to your situation, if it's a CMC foot stomp. The other part of my response to this is that I don't do that shit. Like I talk to my sellers, right? And this could be fucked up and y'all could tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I talk to my sellers and I tell them this. If it's to all my former sellers, I might have done it before. So don't listen to this and be like, he lying.
You can be in the chat.
Yeah, to my sellers that I worked with in the last couple of years, to my sellers I work with, they know I don't do this. I tell them straight up, if it's an all hands email, to me, all hands got it. I'm not resending it to y'all. It's on y'all to read and work through that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I approach it. Am I wrong? I mean, based off y'all opinions.
No, I absolutely do that. I absolutely don't resend the email. I will point your attention. I'll tell you what time the email came out and who it came from, so that you can go search through your box and look it up. But I'm not resending the email out.
Yeah.
Or if I saw the email, if it's something to get done, right, we have to get something done and somebody's saying something, I might reiterate it at quarters the next day or something. Say, hey, you guys saw that email yesterday. Make sure you guys get that stuff knocked out. But me resending it?
Right. Yeah. Like the only way I would resend is if I'm adding instruction to it. That I'm then going to go back and...
Or a different deadline, right? Or something like that.
Because I know sometimes like something will come out after my sailors are gone for the day. And... I may like, let me send some instructions on. I'm going to go over it the next day, but I'm going to send it in the email, everything that I want. and then we gonna talk about it. And that way there's like a, there's something for them to refer back to, but just to send it, to send it, like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, and that's one big thing. Another thing Damo was big on at the command. They'll put something out on the 5th, and Damo whole division have it done on the 1st, and he'll come in there and let us know at departmental, hey, electricians, we already done.
No, I'm just that, like, he spiced it, right? So a little spicy, right? Like, got the Uncle Crackers on it, what is it, Uncle, whatever his name is.
Uncle
but everybody go out. I don't hear nobody.
No, we here, man. The little green spice joint, but like, so this, like, I'm just reporting. It's morning. It's the morning. We giving our daily reports, man. Unfortunately, my daily report is that we got some shit done, and I guess ain't nobody else reporting it because they shit ain't done. But mine is the worst part about that was normally the worst part. Done. The worst part about it was normally when we got it done though, it was like an Excel spread. Like it was like they wanted like a word list or something. Mine was like this beautified like Excel spreadsheet. I remember Matt used to get so pissed off
every time.
And
I be looking at him too. I be giving that look. He already know why I'm looking at it. I be looking at him like,
yeah, because they'd take it like Chang, our top, would take it and be like, yo, everybody else, y'all need to do it this way. You do it like this. People be like, no, we give it to y'all the way we want to give it to y'all. Hell yeah. They used to be tight about that, but I love y'all, man.
Good times, man. Good times.
I love y'all. But before we get off that topic, young sailors, check y'all emails, man, especially on them ships.
Right.
I know y'all check emails on shore because that's like y'all just, you just had the computer or whatever like that. But on the ship, check your email at least 3 times a day. I would say more, but I know how some people get too, where it's like, well, chief or senior, whatever, you told me to check my email. Like, yeah, I ain't tell you to be on your email for 6 hours. Check y'all's email. Check your email. If I was a young sailor, I can't tell y'all what to do. If I was a young sailor, I would check my email before quarters. Mm-hmm. I would check my email. I would come in early somewhere, find a computer. And I know computer space is difficult in the shop of a lot of people. Your first class in there might be doing something.
First thing you're going to say.
Yeah, it's always something. There's always something. But I would check my emails at some point before quarters. I would check my email again, either before or after lunch. And then I would check my email before I get out of work or whatever like that. And maybe you could just do it twice, before quarters and sometime around lunch, because you'll see whatever it was before you got out of work, before quarters, whatever like that. But I'm only saying that because I've been hearing that it's a lot of sellers that don't check their emails at all. Like 30, like not even 30, 40, 60 unread messages type stuff. So
I have a question for y'all too. And this will be my last question. So, I talk a lot about like going into retirement and all, everything like that. And 20 years is a long time to be away from family on like a regular basis. So like now it's like the Navy family is that's family, right? That's even, you're stationed with somebody, leave, you come back to a duty station or go to a different area, might run into somebody and it's like old times. And so now I'm getting ready to transition, going back home. And I'm just really glad that I made the conscious choice to keep my kids very integrated in like my family back home, because they're not going back to like, oh, I gotta like figure out who my cousins are. And, I don't really have a good bond and a good relationship. Like we literally send our kids to the East Coast every summer for the past few summers, and they go from grandparent to grandparent. So they get integrated with all the cousins. And so they're ready to go back. Like they're ready to be around family. But like a lot of times you don't really like see that a lot, I don't think. Where it's like you get to the end and your kids don't have like, you have that connection with your family, but your kids don't necessarily have it. Even like, I feel like sometimes when I go home, I'm disconnected from like some of my like cousins and stuff. It's kind of like what you were talking about, Damo, like we talking about the Navy. I can't talk about the Navy with them. So I'll be sitting there like, oh, know what to talk about. So.
facts though, right?
You know what my CMC told me last week?
Right.
I don't give a fuck about your CMC.
Like, you got to spell out all the acronyms. And like, I think I am more like, dang, like, this about to be real weird. But like, my kids were like very integrated with their family. But like, what about like y'all? Like, do y'all feel like y'all have like a strong connection? Because y'all been in the Navy now for a minute. So like, do y'all feel like y'all still have a strong connection with like aunts and cousins and stuff like that?
Well, Damo, you ain't been in that long, but I go first. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. I'm very disconnected.
All right.
You want to make that was good. Hey, I don't, man. I'm totally the opposite. I'm totally like the opposite of what you just said. How you got your family, like my kids, like even my cousins. I know them more from Facebook than I do from us talking to each other. Like, hey, what's up, cuz? Like, but actually meeting them, I haven't. A lot of cousins I haven't even freaking met, you know, in my life, man. And my mom is part of like a 13-kid family. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot out there. That I'm telling you.
Are they tight knit?
Yes. I mean, they will. I mean, it's like, man, they older. Like my mom passed away already, right? But my grandma was born in like 23. You know what I'm saying? And then back then, man, like it was crazy what was going on. But they was close. But they all kind of like spread out a little bit, but all of them around Mississippi and places like that. But when it got to us, man, like we was kind of like my mom, man, she did her own thing, man. She went by her own rules, man. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit different, man. But even my kids right now, man, with my brothers, it's 6 of us, and we kind of the same way. They don't know each other. You know what I mean? My kids don't know my brothers, them kids. Like I go home every now and then. They might like see each other. Hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I know it's awkward as hell. You know what I mean? Now my brothers, we close. Like we got a little chat. But we grew up together. So of course, you know what I mean? We close, but my kids and their kids grown now too though. Like my oldest brother's like what, 52? You know what I'm saying? So they all older now, man. So it's they all got grown ass kids, man. So my kids don't know them though, man. It's kind of strange too though, man. Like I feel sorry sometimes when I think about it. Because when I leave here, all my kids will be grown. You know what I mean? So if I do go back home to visit and shit, it probably just be me and the wife. You know what I mean? Because they gonna be out doing their own thing. But we do got plans to start having family reunions, though. We've been talking about that a whole lot. Just, you know, the immediate family, like us 6. You know what I mean? Of us, and trying to start getting that thing going, man. So we'll see what happens, man. But that's. I wish I would have did that though. The same thing you say you do, send them back for the summer and all that stuff. I wish I had the opportunity to do that, but it's a little different.
Yeah. What's about you, Damo?
I strive to be close to my family. You know, my first duty station was Norfolk, 5 hours away, but we did like 3. While I was there, we did like 3 deployments, and we were, you know, kind of far. My first nephew. So I got 3 nephews and 2 nieces. My first nephew was 2 when I left for the Navy. Now he's about to be 18 in a few days, actually. But Norfolk wasn't too far, so I would, you know, do the 5-hour trip periodically. It wasn't all the time. And the battery just died on my camera. All right, y'all just gonna get bad picture for the rest of this pod from the laptop camera, right? But so periodically, I would go home, and then from Norfolk I went to Annapolis, which was even closer, right? So I was able to see my family even more. That's where I met my wife. Now, when things got weird is when I went to Cali, and I went to Cali at the same time as the relationship with my wife was budding, and we were like going to get married and stuff like that. So the physical separation and just the separation and like quality time or communication happens because now I'm drawn toward like my wife. And now I'm back close again in proximity to my family. And all of that is a stew of something that has to do with what I'm about to say. So I just recently had a conversation with my brother. It's crazy. Like I said, Tease, you got a lot of foresight for some reason, but my brother just talked to me just the other day, and he was like, he thinks that I'm trying to make up for lost time, right? So time that I wasn't around, he think that I'm trying to make up for it. And I told him that's actually not the case. I communicate some of his thoughts were right. You know, he was like, you wasn't there. You know, I see certain things when you wasn't around. I was making sure our nephews had Christmas gifts. And even if I was around, I don't know if I was buying everybody Christmas gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, like, y'all might not get these, you know. But I also told him some of the time I probably was getting gifts and he just, you know, didn't know. But it was people that I maintained relationships with, like my grandma. My grandma, I maintain a relationship with her, like, all the time. Like, me and her talked even more than the people that she was in close proximity with. And that was, you know, the conversation that me and Brahim was having. Me and my brother was having. Said his name. Hey, whatever. But my friends, I got friends from Philly that, like, I mean, I talk to like every day. Like, I'm very close to my friends, like super close. I got friends in Maryland that I like from like my first command that I talk to like every single day. My mom is close to my friends. You know what I'm saying? So like life and existing with family, I hope I'm answering the question, but life and existing with family outside of the military has always been like prominent throughout my life. Like I said, the biggest separation in like spending time or like having, like I would go home. I remember my friend Rel, right? He pretty much my brother. When he was the best man at my wedding, and he was like, I knew it was crazy when you started to come to Philly and didn't tell me that you were in Philly because I was with my wife. He was like, it was times you come to Philly and you stopped telling me, you know? So when I lived in Maryland, I go to Philly, I would sleep on my mom's couch. You know what I mean? Like, it was always a thing. Like, on Sundays, me and my mom had at least like 3 hours on the phone. You know what I mean? So we always maintain that closeness. And sometimes I know my mom listens to every pod. And sometimes this is like her way of seeing, now you done got me emotional, Tish. But sometimes it's like her way of seeing me, like doing a pod. Like, so, like, it's a fulfillment that like, the time is leveraged now because of my wife. So the Navy didn't do it. Like, so to respond to the question, I don't think the Navy done it as much as just having a family and trying to do this other thing has done it. Like, all my friends with family, I don't never see them. I came all the way out here to live in Maryland to hang with my friends. They always busy with their kids. And my man tried to call me when his wife like left. She left for school for 2 weeks. He tried to call me like, hey, what up, man? I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh, such and such. She go on. She left for the. Come on, that's why you call. I ain't hear from you since you had your baby, dog. But yeah, I've maintained a very close relationship with my family. I think it has a lot to do with just who I am as a person. And I think that those relationships are what we should value or whatever. Even with like young sailors, like I like still text them, I still email them, I still reach out when I can, because what do we really have like at the end of the day?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I also do understand how the Navy can really, really, really affect that.
Right.
You know, even that conversation with my brother was to me an example of how like your family could perceive like something about like you being gone. And then like some of us, we could, man, like I was like, you got me on this, Tish. Like some of us, we grow up in environments that like you can't just come home and say some shit that you did because it's condescending to your cousin. Like, you know, so that's more of a separation.
Right.
You can't just say, well, in Italy, the fucking pizza is not as good as the pasta. And they're like, who do you think you are? Cuz?
Exactly.
You know, just because you've been around, Navy man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, like, you know, you can't do some of that stuff. You know, it's a real thing. It's hard. Like, you gotta be. I remember, you know, my friend was saying he would go back home to his family and they'd be like, well, it's different for you because you was in the Navy. He was like, yo, I'm not no exception. Right. You know, so then that disconnect happens. But I'm also very selective over my relationships too. So I can't have a strong relationship with everybody.
Right.
So for me, it's like this. And I taught myself this on my second deployment, that like, I gotta write you off. The only person I'd be like crying like a dog missing is my wife. Like in her joint. Like my wife real good at like being disconnected. Not me though, baby. Like where you at? But like my most of my family, it's like when I'm with you, that's when I'm with you. Let's love each other. Let's spend time. Let's do all this. That's when I'm with you. And when we apart, I mean, that's when we apart. Yeah. Like you might not hear from me on the phone. You might not this. And that's the same thing with my friends. Right. I got friends that I ain't seen in 15 years. But when we connect, we tight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how you got, in my opinion, that's how you got to kind of look at those relationships.
Right. And I'm very much like that with a lot of my military friends, where we may not have spoken to each other in a long time, like since we were last stationed together. Other than that, it's just been like social media likes and comments, happy birthday or whatever. But then that person come into town and it's like, hey, I'm in town. It's like, oh, let's link. And then you just catch up for the years that you missed. And then you go right back to not talking to each other, but nobody's offended because we understand. We understand. So those, like, I've had a friend before that didn't understand that, like, she was trying to make me feel bad every time I would talk to her because it had been so long.
Was she a civilian?
Yes. So
life, man. Like Damo said, man, difficult. Life is a big part of it, man. It's just life, man. We grow up, you know what I mean? You got family and you just can't spend as much time as you could do when you was young and running them streets, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And like you said about the Navy friendships, them shits, they air fry.
Yeah.
It's like, Navy is putting your relationship in an air fryer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like those bonds, they deep ass bonds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We done been together.
Right.
Yeah, we did 24/7 for 6 months straight.
Yeah,
they
man.
Deep ass bonds.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's good stuff, though. That's real good stuff. I love it. That's a great conversation. We could have had a whole nother hour diatribe on that one. You bringing up some real good. Only reason why I'm shutting the hell up because I feel like I talk too much this episode. So that's
you don't got in your feelings and everything.
Yeah, my mom gonna tell me. She told me about my edit last episode. She said your face was orange. You look like Donald Trump and your lip was pink. Would you do different? I was like, all right, Mom. I was like, let me figure this out.
I'm gonna have to meet Mom, dude, because she funny.
It was delighting. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to meet Mom because she is funny. I saw the video where y'all were talking to your mom. I thought that was dope. Yeah, when it was like her birthday, I thought that was real dope.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, thank you. So I do want to get into my book of the week. It's called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. So The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. I'm going to give it 5 stars. I talked a lot about a lot, so I'm going to try my best to not talk that much about this. But it was a part that stood out to me, and it had to do with a game. It was like a Chinese game that, like one of the oldest board games known to man. This computer was made, I'm going to butcher this, y'all. But this computer was made to learn how to play the game. And the way that this computer learned how to play the game was by just repeatedly playing the game, right? So that was how this computer learned how to play the game. It just repeatedly played different variations of the game, different variations of the game. Never any human input or contact, just different algorithms to learn how to play the game. So the computer finally played against this grandmaster or whatever, like this dude that just was supposed to be a beast at this game. And I think it was like round 36 where it was 2 options. It was an offensive option and a defensive option. And that was going to change the course of the game, whatever decision that this computer made, whether offense or defense. The computer made a third option that nobody in the room even thought would exist or knew existed. It was so confusing to the grandmaster that the grandmaster got the fuck out and left. Like, what the hell am I doing here? This bullshit. Like, boom, boom, boom. Came back, finished the game with the computer, and lost. And then after the grandmaster lost, he quit the game altogether. Never played again. Like resigned, retired, never did it again. Lost to this computer. Right. And the question that Rick Rubin asked was, did the computer win because the computer knew how to play? Or did the computer win because the computer didn't know how to play? Did every human that ever played this game that only got input from humans and only knew how to play from coaches and stuff like that, they would have made those human moves. They would have made those moves because they are the moves to make based off the rules of the game and everything the tribal knowledge we know and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So his whole thing with that, right? This whole book is about creating and making something. So his whole thing with that is like, sometimes you got to abandon all rules when you create, right? You got to abandon all rules when you create. So my whole thing with that, and I'll probably butcher the story. He is way more beautiful when Rick Rubin says it. But what I do want to say is this: if you are a creator, whether you're a podcaster, whether you got like your own YouTube channel, whether you're doing clothes, art, music, whatever you're doing, this book to me is an essential book to listen to. Like I said, I gave it 5 stars. It didn't teach me much new, but it reinforced a whole lot of ideas that I already had. And the biggest one is the creation is primary. The creation is primary. You worry about everything else after you create. You know what I'm saying? Worry about when you start creating, worrying about distribution, you already done messed up. When you start creating, worrying about your audience, when you start creating, worrying about anything outside of what you're creating, you already done messed up. So it's definitely a good book. It changed my life, actually. I'm 2 life-changing books in a row.
Yeah, that's dope.
I like it. I like it, man.
Echo 3.
Yeah, man.
Echo 3, let's clap it up. Let's clap it up for finishing Echo 3. I'm clapping it up. Echo 3 is finished. You graduated? No, I decided I was finished. I quit, y'all. I quit Echo 3. It's over. We moving on to something new.
Yeah, man.
Maybe devotion or something.
Yeah.
We moving on to something new, man.
I'm gonna try to find us one, man. I don't know if I want devotion because I already watched that too, man. So we gonna find.
Yeah, but
something.
I think our listeners will want us to review the movie Devotion.
Okay,
it's a military movie,
again, man. I can watch
it's a hot movie. It's popular.
It is. Okay, we could do that, man.
As long as you try not to watch any other military movies, we should
I'm gonna try my best.
Good
man.
to go.
It's hard for me, man.
I know it's hard. It's a million movies out. I mean, Ant-Man just came out. Creed 3's coming out. I know it's very hard.
Ant-Man. It's good. I like it. That's all I want to say.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I like.
That's good,
I liked it. I don't know, Damo, you're a harder critic than me, man. But I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see what Jonathan Majors got to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. It's good, man. So, hey, everybody out there, man. Mississippi, stand up.
Stand up. Peace, peace.
Deuces.
Love y'all. We love y'all. We love you.
Y'all,
love you. Love you. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. Before you hit unsubscribe, we love you. We love you.
I wait.